Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wired Nerdy Podcast. This is season number 2, episode number 35. And we have a massive interview up ahead, and we are super excited about it. Doug, are you excited?
Yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. We've been planning this for quite a while. We had a great success with Neo Nest,
Mhm.
and this one, mystery so far, but it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. And we're going to throw up his socials so you can check out his amazing content. And of course, we have an intro at the very beginning of the video, and it is a longer one. But, like Doug says, we don't want to get off topic
No,
whenever we're having a good time. So, everybody,
absolutely.
enjoy. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wired Nerdy Podcast. This is season number 2, episode number 35. This is Keith and Doug, and we have an amazing special guest that we are so excited about. So for those of you within our audience, I just want to give a brief introduction. Today, we're excited to welcome an influential figure in the world of collecting and retro gaming, Mr. Wrightway, known to his followers. For his engaging and insightful videos, Mr. Wrightway has carved out a unique niche as a YouTuber with an unmatched passion for discovering hidden gems and sharing the right way to approach gaming, collecting, and beyond. Mr. Wrightway's channel isn't about amassing a collection. It's also a guide for enthusiasts navigating the ins and outs of the collecting world with a keen eye for value and authenticity. If I get through my words there. He covers everything from vintage finds to practical collecting tips, making his content invaluable for newcomers and veterans alike. More than just a collector, Mr. Wrightway is a mentor to his community. He is transparent and thoughtful in his approach, and he's a trusted voice in helping viewers become informed and making good choices, avoiding common pitfalls, and just find the joy in the journey of collecting. His knowledge spans an impressive range of platforms and genres, making his channel a go-to service for all things retro and collectible. Today, we're going to delve into Mr. Wrightway's journey as a creator, explore his passion of collecting, and get to know this amazing talent on a personal level. Please welcome me and joining Mr. Wrightway.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna get you to write my Wikipedia.
We shocked Ness on that one too.
I'm gonna get you to write my Wikipedia. So you know what? Hey, go on my Wikipedia and block it down so nobody.
Oh, absolutely.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing,
Hey,
man? Thank you for taking
doing
time to visit with us, man.
Yep.
Man, good. Y'all call me like at the peak, starting my energy because I am not a morning person. I love waking up at like 12 o'clock.
Oh,
Because-
really? Sleep in? Yeah.
Just because I can't. I've been doing it for so long. Like, really, like my energy level, it starts to peak after like 4 or 5. And then it just, I'm a night person. So,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, I'm a night owl. I've always been that way. And then since, I've been retired and like, I always look like I ain't got no job. So I can like just wake up when I want.
Right.
But I got to wake up to get those deals, man.
Yeah, you do. You have to, because that's when the stores are open too, right?
Yeah, man, especially like Goodwills and stuff like that, man. I gotta get Goodwills, I gotta get the GameStops, I gotta get to pawn shops. Well, I gotta go pawn shop after this because they are holding a kind of brand new black 3DS with Pokemon Gold in it for like $100.
Good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know.
Jeez Louise.
Gold or silver is one of them. I'm like, oh, I said, yeah, I take that. Yeah, so I gotta go down to the pawn shop after this show and go get it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we won't keep you too long on that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good, man.
I want to ask you, like, what's his deal with Dr. Pepper, man?
Oh my goodness. I don't know why you asked me this because this month I'm sworn off sodas right now because I'm trying to see how much I can lose weight. And
trust me.
I
get it.
Dude, freaking Dr. Pepper, like, oh my God. She's like the greatest drink ever.
It is good.
It's some good stuff.
I don't know. I love Dr. Pepper so much. Like, I like, they need to give me a sponsorship, but not real. But seriously, like a cold Dr. Pepper, like on ice. Oh, good.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I guess it's the way the flavor is because I don't like a lot of sweets. I don't like a lot of candy and stuff.
Really?
And it's kind of like that, but it's not.
Yeah.
And Dr. Pepper's not for everybody, but I just, that's the one drink I like. I don't drink nothing else but Dr. Pepper. Maybe Coke or Cherry Coke, but Dr. Pepper just something. Okay, have you drunk something or ate something? Then you get this flavor in your jaws, like, oh, it's so good. Happens every time I drink Dr. Pepper. It's like a rush of flavor.
Oh, soda's my vice.
Oh, it is?
I love soda in general. Is it true Dr. Pepper has like prune juice in it, or is that a myth?
I don't know.
I don't know that.
Maybe that's.
See, I've always heard that, and I've always heard like A1 steak sauce had raisins in it, and I always thought that was a weird thing. So I don't know what it's true or
Even
not.
A1 steak sauce.
That's what I heard. I don't know. We're gonna have to have people fact check us and like put it in the comments. Like,
Never heard that before. All right, y'all leave that down in the comments. Does it have?
Exactly. Are there raisins in A1 sauce? That's what inquiring minds want to know.
No,
I never thought this is what we would be talking about if we had you on. I'm so sorry. I'm failing you.
This is how I am. I like talk about a whole range of craziness and stuff. You come on,
That's good.
and you watch podcasts, man. Like I say, our podcast is about like gaming and life, and we'll be talking about gaming, then we'll switch to life issues. And I always say I love podcasts like this because it's like therapy sessions.
They are.
Yeah.
They're like
They are.
Like we talk to each other, get stuff out. Like the other night, if you go back when you just uploads and so we was talking about if this is an Xbox, how bad, how disappointed we are as gamers and collectors with the Xbox platform. Like they kind of lost their way. They bind up all these companies, but then they trying to like where were the good old days of the Xbox when they were giving like special systems every 6 months and stuff? You have like a Halo, you have like a Gears of War,
360 days, man. Like that was the go-to console for gaming with your friends, man. And honestly, I was hardcore 360, and now, that's why I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. I have Xbox. I have an Xbox, but I don't play it nearly like I do my PlayStation because of the choices and steps that they've made. I don't know. I love the exclusives. I love God of War. Doug's our resident master PC race, by the way. Just
Got PC.
He's gonna be like, hey, look.
But
I got my fancy keyboards and all my stuff over here. So.
But it's funny. It's funny though because since we get cross-platform play, well, he does play with the controller now too. But since we got cross-platform play, look at that. Yep. You got your man. Hey. That's good. Like we were playing Helldivers, and I was on my PlayStation. He's playing on his PC, and he took his Elgato Stream Deck and he did the stratagems. He was one single button doing stratagems on his PC, and we were all
awesome.
Like, So I'll give him credit, man. He found an exploit.
That's good. I would get into PC, but as I get older, this stage of my life right now, I'm more of gathering and collecting and getting those experiences instead of like I hate staying at home.
Yeah.
And the people always say, man, you got a lot of free time. I do. Like being retired from the military, like it's great, right? But you have a lot of free time, and I'm a type of person, I like to go outside and I would like to drive. Like if you saw like the mileage on my last cars and stuff, I put miles. When I buy a car to drive.
Yeah, you go, man.
I love driving. I love it. It's like getting on the road, just driving.
Traveling?
Yeah, I just do. I don't know why it is like that. I guess that's why I like game hunting so much, because I can hit up people. How many Goodwills you hit up a day? Also, I hit like 6 or 7. Like, what?
Yeah.
Man,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. I know. And I guess that's, if people want to know, that's one of my secrets, is finding stuff. I hit maybe 6 or 7 games or 6 or 7 Goodwills during the day, but during the week, I probably hit like, 7 times, times the week, I hit so many, and they know me, but I never know what's coming out. But I kind of figure when it's coming out, and then I be there when we just put this out, and I grab it and go, and it just, I have more misses than I do. Y'all see all the finds because nobody want to see you just nothing here. Nobody want to watch that.
You finding nothing that would be boring. Do you consider your collecting and showcasing of retro games like a form of cultural preservation in a way? Like, is it? I get it. It's personal to you. We'll get into that here in a moment. But do you view like some of what you're doing? And I know you like to go and you're on the hunt, but how important is it for you to keep the history of gaming alive for like generations? You've gone to these cons. You've seen younger kids come. Like, what's your thoughts in general about preservation and what you're doing? Is that an element at all to you sharing what you're sharing and what you're doing?
I think preservation is for YouTube. Like, because I really think the YouTube will outlive me, and also the plastic games too. But but getting the history and like, okay, say I go get a game and say, hey y'all, this right here, it was kind of like exclusive. You may want to look out for this, or this may be the time to buy,
Mhm.
and you need to go in waves and get stuff like that, And I think that's the way I look at it. I don't look at it me just personally, because when people say I'm trying to amass history, I like really, or you're just trying to collect for yourself, really.
That's true.
Because let's really be honest. Like a lot of us as collectors, we're inherently selfish, and it's okay to be like that.
Yeah.
But just know that, like because look at Black Friday. Just think like that, right? Everybody trying to get them deals. People are selfish.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh
You
yeah.
go over for a $50
That's true.
TV,
You know, I think you have a great point. That's also true of like comic book collectors. I mean,
Mhm.
we've got Doug and I do a feature. We go to Comic Con. Doug,
Hey,
you've seen those guys. Like they're out. Get to there.
Hey,
You go,
right
man.
there. Yeah.
Look
this
at
was
it,
$2. If you can see that right there,
man. You get all the deals. I just need to give you like a list when you're out and about.
Man, and I've been wanting this for a while, but I already read it so many times.
Yeah.
But like this won't be no collectible because look at the shape. But
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to say
No.
No,
I'm
that's
agreeing with
good.
you. No, it's good. But
Yeah,
I'm saying when
absolutely.
collecting in general, I think you're right in that there is this intrinsic of what can I get for me. There is
Mhm.
that element to it. And there's other ways to go about preservation.
Yep.
We've talked a lot about there's emulation and all those
Oh,
other kinds of things. We started doing retro reviews, which for us
emulation.
was hey, there you go. Yeah, I saw that video. I want to buy one now. but
They're
what
great.
we started doing retro reviews to just recall some of the games that a lot of people forget or maybe they
Yeah.
haven't played before because of the love of actually playing those games,
Mhm.
beyond just the collecting aspect of it, because you can play them in so many different ways. I think it's Ness that always says play the way that works for you, or the way that you enjoy. And that's kind of nice to be able to take that stance. So Doug, I've been hogging him. I haven't let Doug say one word. I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. I'm enjoying this conversation. You just held up. Is that the Ambernick?
Yep.
Yes,
I believe. Yeah.
they sent this to me.
So
Like, oh, hold on, what is this? I said, oh, thank you. So I made a
That's
little
awesome.
video.
it looks great.
It is.
That's a good question for you. Is what is your thoughts on emulation versus collecting? It's easy to put 100, 200,000 ROMs on something, but it's not the same appeal or same feel as having that physical media, physical box. What's your thoughts on all
Absolutely
that?
right. Okay, so I've been going back and forth on this for the last like 5 years. And I started to come to the conclusion this year. I love both. I
Yeah,
think both are important. I think if you're a collector, you absolutely need an emulation device to decide on what game
that's a
you
good
want to
thought.
add to your
Yeah.
collection. Because take for Neo Geo, for instance. Me and Next be doing Neo Geo.
Hmm.
All right, we're like the crazy one, buying almost trying to buy every game. But
Hmm.
say if somebody wants to buy Neo Geo and they don't know where to start, I said, and they really see, but I want to buy something, but I don't want to regret paying $200-300 for a game and I don't like it. And
That
especially
makes sense.
most of
Big
those
time.
games are arcade experiences, and arcade
Yes.
experiences games are like
Totally different.
30 minutes to an hour or something like that
Yeah.
to get the game,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you want value, and then you want to like emulate that and say, do you really want to buy this game and put it in your collection? Because there's levels like, say, do you want to buy the game and buy the cart? Do you want to buy the full game? Do you want the Japanese game that's gonna play the same? What do you want? Emulation helps that. So I take
Oh,
this with
good.
me and I'm like, dang, okay, what game do I want to buy? And I see something, I look at like YouTube reviews, then I go back and like try to play it, and like, yeah, I'm putting this in my collection.
I love that perspective
Yeah.
of being able to preview things ahead of time because the libraries and all these systems are so big. For me,
Mhm.
we talked about this before. Like, there are certain consoles I missed, like when they were out. Like, I wasn't big into GameCube,
Okay.
but I've been able to go back and try some GameCube games. There were
Yeah.
some that there's certain consoles like because maybe I was heavy into Dreamcast
Yeah.
and I didn't mess as much with the PS2 depending on the timing, or I was really into the OG Xbox, right?
I'm
So
like Gallagher. I'm pulling
I know
all
you're just pulling everything out of your hat,
like
man.
Dreamcast
Oh,
stuff. Like,
look at that!
Yeah.
Ah,
I got this free at GameStop.
no way.
Yeah,
GameStop Retro? I know you're a fan of the retro,
they
right?
gave it to me like the manager. Like he said, well, since it's not in our system, you can have it. I said,
Cool.
Very nice.
dude, you know this $100 controller, $75 to $100 controller, right? So, oh, well, just check it. I said, okay.
Wait a minute. Can you hold that up again on the screen? Does it have the LED screen? Like,
Oh
is
yeah,
that like for the memory?
That's your
Yeah. Okay, there it
VMU.
is.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
absolutely.
you. Thank you. That's what
Like
I
so,
thought.
basically,
That's awesome.
I champion this is the best arcade stick on the Dreamcast. And
Mhm.
also, if
It's
you like
great.
playing Marvel's Capcom 2, you go to somebody's house, you have everybody unlocked on here, and you put that inside. Boy, this is so good. You go here, like, is somebody in bring their card? Said, you got your memory card? Yeah, I got my memory card with everybody on
Yeah.
here. And then, so, man, put that up in there. You unlock everybody on Marvel's Capcom 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I got two now, but man, I need one in the box, but this controller, it's so amazing.
It is. I
They
can't
did
believe
a
you got
good
it
job
free.
on it. Yeah.
They did. I love that system.
They had
Man.
fishing pole controllers too.
They
Those worked
did.
surprisingly well.
Let's trade that in. I need to go back. But okay, speaking of that,
Sega Bass Fishing, yeah.
Yeah.
oh man, I love fishing games.
Yeah, they're
I
good.
I need to go back and get that controller. But why I traded it is that next week all my PlayStation 30th anniversary stuff is shipping. Except
You got your pre-orders in, didn't you?
only one I didn't get is the Pro, and I wish I got the Pro.
I bet you did.
I got the Portal. I got like 3 controllers.
So
and
jealous.
then I got the Slim.
So I started to tell my brother I wanted the controller,
Mhm.
but then I've now been eyeballing because he got the Portal and he let me mess with it, and I liked it better than I thought I would. I don't
Dude,
know.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew. Okay, and let's talk about this real quick, because this is where a lot of people kind of mess up. It happens a lot of times. If you want something, guys, just save up and get it.
Yeah.
Just like the Pro. Everybody was talking so much crap about the Pro, and I get it. The
Yeah.
Pro, they came out just ass backwards, right?
Yeah.
It was so silly how they market that.
Yeah.
They broke that out. Then they said the 30th anniversary and the 30th anniversary, everybody wanted. Then they didn't tell people, just
I agree with you.
craziness. But everybody now is kind of like, wait a minute, the Pro might actually be a good deal despite its price.
Yes.
Just like the Portal. When I said,
Yeah.
I tell y'all guys, look at the Portal. People were looking at the Portal like it was a PSP. I said, no,
you can't.
No,
Well,
can't do that.
They want a PSP or they want a Vita, right? But where they went wrong when they launched it, the original firmware only allowed in-home streaming. But when they updated that firmware and you could play anywhere,
bruh.
Game changer
Dude,
right there.
dude,
Big
game
time.
changer.
And then if you got your PlayStation hooked up to like hardwired,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's smooth.
oh my
What
goodness.
killed me about the Portal was when I was messing with it. I think he brought up the game Stray, with the cat.
Yeah.
And the haptic feedback shocked me. I didn't think about the Portal having the same haptic feedback stuff, like with the rain and just kind of like when you're playing Astro's Bot. It just felt so good in the hands. Now, there's rumors that they may be doing you look at what's happening in the handheld market. There's all those rumors about Microsoft might be working on a handheld. Or, the whole thing with Steam Deck, I think, has really kind of fueled that. You got Ambernick, you've got the ROG, you got all these, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think Sony will make a play for doing Vita or a PSP-esque again at some point in the timeline down the way, given that market has been kind of getting some popularity again with what the deck has done?
In the next 2 years, yeah, because I thank Nintendo for that, because Nintendo is always a game changer when it comes to like controllers or how they always like make a system. You look back in history from the D-pad all the way to the analog into the Wii and now to the Switch. It's always, even the GameCube, because of the camera button, and they were kind of redefined camera, but it was GameCube controller was kind of but it was still good, like Nintendo, when they came with the Switch, and then people were like, wait a minute, that was just on the TV, same kind of graphics, a little bit better, and I take it out and I just go.
Yeah, it was game changer.
Yeah, it was.
I have to say something. I started laughing because I'm not just saying I'm a fan. I'm a true fan. You guys had a podcast. I think it was last night.
Yeah.
And you said something. This is what I'm just going to tell you what he said because everybody died. Wrightway said, we change things because now you got your grandma doing bowling and everybody getting wee-itis. Everybody wee-itis.
Yeah.
That's why I laughed the minute you mentioned the Wii, because I thought of last night. You talk about wee-itis.
Yeah, wee-itis, man. They got their wee-itis. Like, but they changed Nintendo is like, it really is the fun machine. Remember when I used
It
to call
is.
it the fun machine?
Yeah.
It really is, and they change. And everybody always look at Nintendo like, look at the Move, look at the Kinect,
Yeah.
look at the ROG and all that. Look at like the Steam Deck. I mean, everybody kind of like look at Nintendo like, what y'all gonna do next? And Nintendo
Yeah.
right now, they like, we ain't showing y'all. They sitting here like,
They'll wait.
Spider-Man meme like this, just looking like they waiting like, we'll let y'all know when we ready. And it's
That's
so
right.
funny too. Every time they put a tweet out, it says no information about the next system.
They do. And you see all these
Nothing
rumors
at all.
about the Switch 2's been confirmed to have blah, blah, blah. No, it hasn't
And then an
confirmed
alarm
anything.
clock comes out.
I know.
Oh,
And
I
people
laughed
putting
so
Doom on it.
hard.
We thought, yes, here it is. Number 2's coming out. Nope, alarm clock.
Alarm clock.
It's pretty good because Nintendo's going to Nintendo, right? And you're not going to, people don't know this about, well, I mean, some people do. I wasn't, not I was, but when I was in Japan, live in Japan, and I go back and forth. One thing about Japanese culture is that when they had a mind made on something, they're kind of stubborn. They're not going to change their mind, especially Japanese businessmen. They're not going to change their mind. And you're not going to make Nintendo tell you when they go do their stuff out. Look at them Nintendo Ninja lawyers. They will hunt you down, get any kind of real information, and they will shut you down like the CIA or something.
It's
And
a different culture, man.
yeah, different culture, and I like that. And then it is great to see it in this kind of like social media age because everybody wants stuff right now. I want it now.
Yeah.
I want it now. You tell me now. Tell me. I'm like, just calm down, play what you got, and be there.
In time. Let's explore that because it's one of my questions I have is that you've embarked upon going to Japan for your game hunting trips and you showcase those. In doing that, what are some of the most unique or unexpected aspects of traveling there that most people may not know about? And are there any surprises to you that were like valuable lessons when it comes to, that whole journey that you've taken and collecting over there? What are just some unique nuggets about going to Japan and about your trips there that you learned that maybe were most unexpected for you?
Google Maps is your friend. Google Maps is your friend. Google Translate is your friend.
Yeah.
If you try to speak their language, you be respectful and talking, they will help you out. I remember I was in a beef bowl shop eating, and like, I don't know what I was doing. I guess I was like, my chopsticks are kind of messed. I know how to eat with them. And the Japanese man, he like, do you need some help? I like, he's like, I can come help. I like, oh, I'm good. Are you sure? He said, yes, sir, I'm good. He said, okay. Let me know. I'm here. I'll help. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I was like,
very cool.
Yeah, I was like, he just sitting there across eating and like, just looking. I said, okay, thank you, man. I said, no, I'm good. And then when he got up, he waved and like, I said, thank you so much, thank you.
That's awesome. Just the courtesy.
Yeah, it was courtesy, and the streets are clean. What's good about it? Game hunting is really. Everybody has eBay over there, right? But like, if you get like if you get like old stuff like Super Nintendo, Master System, PS1, PS2, those things are like dirt cheap.
I saw that in your videos. Like you were showing like some of those shelves and stuff. I was just blown away at the prices over there because I guess it's also the seat of where, especially like peripherals and things like that. The prices are always so impressive. I think that's one thing. My wife and I are planning on going. We are going to go. And my brother's like, I'm going to send you a suitcase. Once you fill it up,
take some stuff
ship
it back with
you. He must give you 2 suitcases. And
probably.
Yeah.
Because like you talking about the peripherals, right?
Yeah.
Like at Hobby Off and Book Off, they had these things called junk drawers, right? And if it's scratched, it's junk. If it's like nicked, it's junk.
Really?
I'm like, okay, this is one thing too. Like, if you trade in games, right, you have to get in a special line, and it was a line around the corner because it was a special day that was doing like something. Like, say, let's take a game, Chrono Trigger, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you get, if you trade Chrono Trigger, you might get half off, right? Most of the time, they give you like 75% of what it's worth of games. They want to like. I was one of the guys who I was with in 4M at Laundry. Go check his channel out. He did a video with me, and I did a video with him. You go like you trade stuff in. They want to give you like almost full value. It's like an honor system. Like say you trade in a game like Chrono Trigger, or I was go back to Chrono Trigger. Say you trade a real good game in, and you have like the manual with it. they put whatever gets traded in with it gets put on the floor with it, and they wrap it up. So I was seeing
Really?
I was seeing like controllers in the original box for the same price as another controller, like 100, maybe one controller be like 300 yen, and then another one be like 500 yen. I'm like, oh, it was just wild, like systems. Oh my goodness, I wanted so many systems there. I mean,
How did
oh,
you decide? Like,
you have to because it's like you have to at least bring you. Oh my goodness, dude! When I go back, it was like they had a Sega Saturn in box for like $50 complete, but it said it was junk, and the only thing was wrong with it that it had like a scratch on the side of it.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah.
oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
was like nuts. I'm like,
Now you got to be you have to be mindful of the region locks still with some of those, right? Whenever you
yes, you
pick them
do.
over there, though.
But also too, you can get like the Sega Saturn, like you can get a 4-bit RAM, or not 4-bit. You can get a Game Shark and still play the games on there,
Oh, okay.
or you can take
Gotcha.
it and mod it. But if you want to like play games like back in the day, I
Mhm.
was getting that Game. I got a Game Shark on mine, but also too, mine is modded also, and man, it's just so great, so many good systems and stuff. Like I got a blue PS5 that was in the video, and that blue PS3. I'm sorry, blue PS3, not
Mm.
five. Blue PS3 Slim, and it was
Mhm.
a Gran Turismo Slim.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
they didn't have the blue controller for it, right? So I'm looking for that controller, but the system was $16. I was like,
Are
That's
you
cheap.
kidding me?
I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
it was
That's
like I
nice.
looked at it, I was like, oh, this system is gonna be so nice, right? And I said, how much is it? And I'm like, I looked, I said, $16. I said, here you go.
Can't
Absolutely.
get the money out fast enough.
And
Yeah.
then what they did, right? They took the system and she wrapped it up and bubble wrapped twice and then put like a little sticker on it and then give it back to me and smile like,
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
because she knows you got to bring it back.
yeah,
That's
but I know that, but they was doing it for everybody though. I was like,
really
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I was like, I just sit there and sit back and like they were custom wrapping people's stuff up and they would hand it to them and make sure it was okay and stuff. And they would like take your bag and put it in there and all that. I'm like,
well, I
"Ah."
read that Japan is pretty big on the service industry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But let
yeah.
me tell you one thing they're horrible at
What's that?
is free
Uh-oh.
water.
Oh,
Oh
Okay,
really?
give you water.
They
I was
like don't give you free water? Is that what you mean?
They will give you free water, but look, I went to Starbucks, right? So you
Mhm.
know, I'm a greedy American. I got like, I want water like
Oh no,
right.
I hear you, man. I got the big cups. I hear you.
So I went in there and I said, "Can I get some water, please?" And said, "Okay, okay." And then she gave me a water. It was like a little teacup of water, like a little. I
yeah.
was like, and I
So
laughed. I said, "I'm not a baby. Can I have
I'm not a
one
baby.
cup?" And she
Right.
started laughing, and then when I talked, and then gave me a big cup of water and ice. I'm sorry, I'm just thirsty. I like, it's it was just
So
so hilarious.
that's one thing I've noticed. So my wife and I, we've been to Germany, we've been to Austria, we went last year to Italy. In Europe, they're that way with the drink sizes, but they're also that way with like ice. You ask for ice, it's
They
weird
were
to them, and they give you like 1 cube.
yes. I don't
And,
know
and
why.
I don't know how they stay hydrated. Like they don't drink a lot. Like,
Man, they looked at me like I was from another world. When I went to Paris, right? I stopped in the Paris airport and I went to Starbucks and I said, "Can I get some water and some ice?" I said, "Yeah, water with ice, please." And they're like, and and they gave me the water cup, but then they sealed it up. It was just weird. I was like,
that's
okay.
odd.
It
That
was
is
just
weird.
odd,
But they think we're weird.
but it was kind of
Yeah.
they were real snobby. But I was like, okay.
I've heard that. I've not been to France, but I've heard it can be that way.
Oh my
So
gosh, they're so snobby, but it's funny.
it's funny when you travel though. It really
Yeah,
does open your eyes to the way
Yeah.
other people are. And it challenges your perceptions of what you think of the world too. Because you
and
find out you're wrong about a lot of things. You find out some things are right, what we have in common, what we don't. But yeah, man, I love traveling. I love your travel videos. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to dive into that's really good.
oh,
Doug, I've been hogging him again. I'm gonna let you.
No, no, you're doing great.
We're the talkers, if you can't tell.
me too, man. And I just got a missed call. I don't have to stop it up. It's kind of funny. Like I had I'm a big I'm a big tech nerd and I love like electric cars. And they just now opened up uh Cybertruck demo drives. I was like,
Oh,
yeah. And they come and
nice.
say, okay, you ready for your demo drive? I'm like, yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
I'm
into the
ready.
Cybertruck? Do you want a Cybertruck? I know you have a Tesla.
Yeah, I want one. Now I got it before I knew Elon was crazy, but
That's true. But what do you think about like like it cut people's fingers off, or
Really? People just doing stuff for just attention, man.
Yeah.
I know, it's funny, it's funny.
One, I like that ugly truck. It's like I call it the most beautiful, ugliest truck in the world. You
Do you
know?
want to know why? It's because you played the PlayStation 1, and
I know, right? It do like Stunt Racer FX a truck. It
it
do.
kind of does.
Oh, it
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
That very
Yeah.
polygonal. Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
it's a game. It's such a gamer truck. Like my let's say I had a Tesla. I got a Tesla, and I got the steering wheel, the yoke steering wheel. And
Mhm.
when people see that, oh, you know you like video games. I said, yep,
Yeah,
I
you
Oh,
do.
do.
yeah.
I think I
Video
think the
game.
trucks look cool whenever they wrap them. Have you seen that? They put
Yeah.
like it's pretty interesting. Some of what some people have done. Like
Yes.
they look
I would
cool.
put. I would probably put like an all white wrap, maybe because everybody got black. Probably black would be the first show, but I'll probably do like a white or maybe like a real nice like blue,
Oh, there you
like
go.
something like
That'd be
that.
good.
Yeah.
Something. But then I also too, if I get to win one day when I have the cash to do it, uh, I will probably get the seats changed to like white also because I love that white seat. I like that black on white. Mine's is black on black now, but I like white seats. I always like that.
You were also talking last night about how you like white shelves now. Are you like entering a new theme now where
Yeah,
you're like
I am. I mean, type of stuff. Yeah. I
new
matter of
color themes?
this morning, I just sold on not Amazon, on Facebook Marketplace my last two Billy bookshelves. They were the black brown. They were the
Yeah.
old style,
Yeah,
and
the old
now
ones.
I have white now. Like all my shelvings is white and glass. I like that white glass because I like that elegant look. Like you can show off different
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and I like
Absolutely.
as you can see. But
There
if
it's
you
back.
see like right here,
Oh yeah, I
uh,
see.
over there,
Yeah.
it's the I got like these white cases and stuff, and they
Oh,
well
wow.
not white cases. I'm sorry, these glass shells with LED lights. I like that type of look. You know, like I like
It brightens it up. It
yes,
really does.
I love that type of look, man, because it's just I don't know. It just I love stuff like that. I don't know. It just that's the military cleanness in me on that one.
That's right. That's awesome. All right, Doug, go ahead. I keep
Yeah,
interrupting. I'm
no,
sorry.
you're doing good. As we're looking around your room in the back, I see more than just video games. Is there other things that you're pretty passionate about collecting, such as those comic books, other than video games, I guess?
I'm really liking like kiosks and
Yep.
signs. I did have a lot of kiosks, and I sold those to start my Neo Geo collection because they were expensive. I took advantage of that. What else do I like? I like signs. I like let's see, kiosks, neon signs.
Yeah,
Uh,
very nice. I see the PlayStation 1 there in the back. Yeah,
yeah, the PlayStation one back there.
That's
Uh,
very
vintage.
nice.
what
Got
else?
an X-Men poster, I think I see there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that from GameStop. I
Oh,
like
very nice.
posters and stuff. Oh, I love posters. I do. I love posters.
Yeah.
If you come to my house, I have so many like framed posters, and I still have like 6 or 7 more framed posters that I need to get framed. I just I like glass frames and stuff like that. I like stuff like that because I think you can collect a lot of video games and you can get those over and over. But pieces like posters and stuff like that, like neon signs and different stuff, you can't really get that. And I like it is like an art piece or decoration or something like that. That's why I kind of like when I redid my game room, I kind of put it that way. And then when Ness did his game room, I said, hey, you know, you should do a little bit like this because
Yeah.
I want to get a bigger game room one day, you know. And but I always try to make use of the space that you have.
Yeah.
No matter what size game room you have, I think IKEA is pretty perfect in like building a game room.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
they've got some crazy
Lots of good
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
like they got so many different type of shells, but then you can just like map out how you want it and stuff. Like
Mhm.
when I look at I think in a game room, you should come into a game room, be able to sit down and turn the lights off and just meditate. That's what I
Oh,
do use
yeah.
sometimes, like because I got LED lights too, which
Yeah,
is time now. But like at night, I'll turn these lights off over here and just leave the blue lights on, and I'll like get some like just some music turned on and
that's
just
awesome.
stay here and I
It's a
use
vibe.
yeah vibe. I
Absolutely.
used to have like not a fog machine, but one of those machines that had the incense in it and stuff, the good smelling
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I have that. Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah,
I love that thing.
I need to get me one of those again, but and
Mhm.
just sit there and just relax in the room and just
Oh
like,
yeah.
all right, let me just wind down and be with myself. Not no TV on, and no games, and no phone, and
Just chill.
just chill and relax.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That is awesome. In that, in a recent episode that we had with Ness on the podcast, Neo Ness, he shared his origin story, and it's all tied to like his collecting and love of games is tied into his mom and that sort of thing. What is it for you, Mr. Wrightway? Like I know you've kind of touched on this in the past, but like what's your draw? Is it a nostalgia piece? Like, have you always been a gamer? We'll talk a little bit about your military service in a little bit, but like in your life, looking back on it, what has been the appeal to you? What's pulled you into it? What's that warm and fuzzy? You talk about vibes in your room and just what is it for you? What's your origin story and what pulls you into gaming?
This is gonna be different than anybody else ever told you, right? And I probably really haven't told a lot of people, but it is, I guess, because I never thought to tell anybody. But it
You've never
goes,
been asked, maybe.
seriously. It goes. It's all started with Bozo the Clown. Bozo the
Interesting.
Clown back in the day was my hero.
Really?
Yes, as a kid, I loved that dude. That was my dude. I love his Bozo. Each states had that local Bozo.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Arkansas, in Little Rock, it was this man named Gary Ware. And
Mhm.
fast forward, when I got older, I emailed him and he called me because I said I always want to be Bozo and stuff like that. But I said I got too much hair now, so I can't do it. I can't shut my hair to be Bozo. But he called. We talked like 20 minutes, and then that was great. And then he had passed years later, but he was a great dude. But and a kid, I couldn't really tell that. But Bozo led me into wrestling, and
Mm.
wrestling led me into video games. My first time seeing wrestling, I saw a skit. It was the Body Shop with Jesse the Body Ventura,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
forgot who was on there. I think it was him and somebody. I think it was Hulk Hogan. I don't know, but that led me into wrestling. Then wrestling led me into video games because my cousin had like all these video games and stuff. I'm like, what? And I remember seeing uh video games for the first time was in Kmart.
Mm.
They had, how they had the kiosk way up here, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look at this and break your neck just to play it. And this little kid was playing Super Mario Brothers, and he had grabbed the fire flower, and it just blew my mind. I was like, and he just started doing. I said,
Wow.
what is going on? And this was the whole time of that, and I was
Yeah.
like, so I played it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I left it. And a couple months later, my cousin who interested in wrestling had got that, and it was just over from there. And then we were just like,
Really?
like he had like Mario. I remember RC Pro Am.
Oh yeah. Great
He
game.
had some others like what was that? Um, some other kind of games. But I read Rad Racer. He had Rad
Oh,
Racer.
oh, that's a
Exactly.
good one.
Like we had
Oh
all,
yeah.
and I got one for Christmas, and then it was just we got the Power Pad, and that was all in that like 3 year cycle or stuff like that. Just boom, 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 boom. And from that, you can just
You
tell
were
me
sucked in.
I was something else like Nintendo. Like I played
Wow.
Nintendo so much that the Nintendo was getting hot. Like,
Dang.
like because it was like you gotta get off Nintendo. Like it was just Nintendo, Nintendo,
Yeah.
Nintendo. I mean, it was just like I was just loving it. Like I remember one of my favorite games back in the day is Super Mario Bros. 2 because
Mhm.
that Super Mario Bros. 2 was so different because I remember the jump in graphics. And
Yeah.
and I guess I look back now, and that's why I'm like so neat or so art oriented. That that style from that to Mario 2 was such a huge leap in my eyes and my brain at that time that it was just like, oh, this is different.
Mm.
And then it just led me to find other stuff because my first video game system was a Radio Shack Pong clone. And they were just like,
Okay.
wow, all that kind of stuff. You had to hook it up with the little screwdriver in the back of the TV. And
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't understand that though, but that was my first. But then when I got Nintendo, it was like, bam, here we go. We in the next level. It was like the jump in people now from PS1 to PS2 for more people. Remember that jump from PS1 to
Oh, I
PS2,
remember.
how mind blowing it was?
Oh
That's how
yeah.
it was for
Yeah.
me back in the day when I saw that. So yeah, all those combinations, like it happened. So it started with Bozo, then my cousin, we found wrestling, then
Wrestling.
wrestling to Nintendo and
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. It was just
That
all of that.
that's crazy. That's a crazy origin story. You're right. That's not exactly right. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
All right, Doug, your turn, buddy.
Yeah. Do you have any crazy or funny stories related to hunting? I mean, you've seemed to have it mastered down to go into the pawn shops
Well, he
and
goes
Yeah.
everywhere. You have to run
everywhere.
into some
You've
weird
got to
stuff.
have some crazy stories or something to share.
Okay, so this funny story that happened in GameStop. I go to GameStop and I'm hunting for stuff, and on the floor I see a sealed copy of Super Mario Brothers, Super Smash Brothers, and I'm saying,
Yep.
what the? And I'm recording. What the is this? I look and my hand starts shaking. I said, oh my gosh. I'm like, I said, I want to buy this. And then dude, look, well, we can't sell it. I said, why is it on the floor? And then he like start. I said, you open it. I'm calling police and I'm calling your supervisor. And I
It's a
said,
travesty. Don't do it.
and he like, I said, try me if you want to. And then he showed it to me. I watched. I said, got in the car. I said, oh my goodness, I got it, I got it. And
Nice.
I sealed it and sent it off to be graded. But because they graded stuff for free a long time ago, and I don't have it no more. But I had it for a while.
Yeah.
Another story was I went to Goodwill. A lot of these running around Goodwill.
Sure.
I go to Goodwill and I'm buying games. I'm getting ready to check out, and I look under the counter and I see 2 Super Nintendo games. I'm like, okay, I take those. And it was a kid that comes, hey man, let me get them games. He like, huh? I said, those games right there, Nintendo games. He said, what's that? I said, son,
Oh,
look right there. And I felt so old when I said, son, I said, look right there, the grace cards.
right.
Oh, these 2, yeah. I said, how much are these? I said, $2, $3. So I said, okay.
Oh,
I look at it. One was Super Mario Brothers. The next one was Earthbound. And I was like,
Oh no.
that goes for a lot.
Earthbound was like faded cover and everything, but it was still Earthbound. And I was like,
Yeah.
I said, oh shit. I was like, oh no. I said, yeah, let me get these right now.
I'll take them.
And then another story, I got into another good story before they changed the Goodwill. I was hunting, and it was in the CD Owl, and I found a sealed copy of Resident Evil 3. It was
Nice.
and I looked. I said, just like I keep not having these things like it was just sitting there. I was like, but it was cracked just a little bit, but it was still perfectly sealed, and it was like the one with Dino Crisis in it. I said,
Oh my goodness, the double. Yeah.
Oh
my goodness.
It still had the sticker and everything on it. Was and I paid $1.99 for it. And I was, man.
Yep.
You guys have got some really good Goodwills around you. I
Thank
don't know if
God.
we have that many that are. We have
We
like
have
2,
one
right?
or 2, but it's closed.
I'm
Lots of
gone. They're
closed.
not. They don't. You guys have. Maybe it's because you're in a metropolitan area. It sounds like you really get some good hits there. But you're going quite a bit. How much churn do you see? Like, does it rotate pretty well? Like, are people bringing new stuff in all the time? Because you go so often, you probably know how that
When
churn goes.
they get their new stock in, yeah.
Yeah, is it like
It's
common? Like, is it?
It's like if you see games coming out, like good games, it'll probably be like 3 or 4 days, and then it'd be no more games for like a month or 2 months sometimes. It just be like, but I think we're starting to go through another dry spell, but I do find different things. But now I'm not buying everything I want, because I'm going more quality.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, I had I forgot I sold something, right? So I went to Goodwill Stop In, and it was like 6 Nintendo GameCube games, right? Just sitting there, like Mario Party, all that kind of stuff. And I looked at them; they had no games in them. And I'm like, really? But and I'm about to put them back. So I'm like, no, get those. Those cases are nice. So I got the case and I said, hey, these don't get no games in them. And they said, I said, can I have them? I said, no. What's okay? Well, can I pay $1 for them each? And I said, yeah, just charge them. So,
cases are a big deal. I know when we went to the con, like we're walking through, like they're just selling cases, and it makes sense because people trying to get complete box sets. It makes total sense. Yeah.
NES sleeves, I saw a lot of those being sold at the con.
Yep.
Dude,
It's
and
a
then
lot of those.
And then the GameStop retro, the GameStop retro stuff, man. Oh, it's been good here in Dallas, but other areas too. They're starting to rotate more stuff out and send stuff. This one store, this woman sold like $5,000 worth of stuff. I mean, like just GameCube and everything. And somebody saw it, and this is how some people be. They saw it, they called GameStop and said that they had one the game on hold, and they said, "Yeah, you sold it to Mr. Wrightway." Like who? They said they saw the videos. How they? Oh, I said somebody who's following me probably saw it, and he said I
Mhm.
can't hold stuff and be checking out because it was like Pokemon Stadium, and I get the
Oh,
Pokemon Stadium and the bonus disc both for like $109, and I
Yeah,
took those like you know what, flip those for Neo Geo games and stuff. You know, just it was just stuff like that that happens. You know, I would say right place, right time, but you have to actually put yourself out there because a
yeah.
lot of people won't put themselves out there, and a lot of people
Mhm.
will give up. And some days I'm like, man, I just make my rounds, and
Yep, you
sometimes
don't
it's
probably don't
tough.
find something. Yeah, I bet
Oh,
so. So we don't have any of the GameStop retros around us yet. So I haven't experienced one yet. I went to a GameStop recently and it's like it's sad. It's all like Funko Pops and it's just like a toy store.
there's
But
not much in it
man,
anymore.
so
No,
so what's your take on like do you think them doing the retro stores could help save them as a company or do you think they're like on I mean, what's the future of that in your opinion? With you being out and about, you've experienced the retros. I mean, it's cool, but like do you think that's just like a dying grasp, or do you think there's something new there that they can latch onto and actually become something else and reinvent themselves?
if they take it seriously, I think they can do good. Right now, GameStop is just GameStop. You either love them or you hate them. And
Yeah,
most times, people who hate GameStop had bad experiences with employees.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
employees
yeah.
are untrained. Managers have like these unrealistic demands. Some are good, some are just there for the paycheck,
hmm
and really, it's in a holding pattern. Like
yeah.
GameStop Retro, I think is a. I don't say it's a little bit too late, but I would say I would enjoy it while you can, because say GameStop does close down and leave, right? What really main store you're gonna be able to go in to actually get stuff?
Mom and pop storefronts, like what you showcase. You know, the some of those places that you've gone, especially when you travel. That's about it. Otherwise, you're now in digital marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and then
Mm.
cons. You don't really have a place to
You don't have
go.
No,
It, you
yeah.
know,
The
and
place up here we have, and I don't know if you have it down there, is vintage stock. I've
yeah, we
been
got
seeing a
some
lot of those popping up everywhere,
we have a new
usually in
one.
malls.
We have
Yeah,
a new one now. They took over. There was in the Jefferson City Mall, which is the capital
yeah,
in
and
Missouri.
they're pretty big.
They're mad. I went into it and I was surprised at how long we spent in it because they took over like a spirit of Halloween was there and they went out and they
oh,
put in vintage stock and it's
Yeah,
big, like it's
yeah.
pretty large and I was surprised at
and
how much they had there.
they've got everything from DVDs, all that stuff, but then they go into comic books,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Funko
Collecting
Pop,
cards.
and
Yep.
peripherals, all
Yep.
that good
Oh
stuff.
my
Yeah, they had
goodness.
Atari games free not complete box ones, but they had Atari games. They had a lot of consoles there, game system. I was surprised at the variety that actually they had.
Ours, the minute stock here, they're called Movie Trading Company
Mhm.
here.
Oh,
And
okay.
sometimes they have some good stuff. Sometimes they mispricing different things, and you just gotta be in the know.
Yeah.
I'm
So
like,
you don't get
oh
taken advantage of. There are some things I see sometimes and I'm like, "Mm." And, you look at what they price certain
yeah.
things for and you're like, "Mm,
like
Yeah.
like
eh."
Mario, like Super Mario 64, they was charging like $64. I'm like, why? And
Yeah.
or like one game I always see a lot that's priced overly priced, and I would get that game now than later. Is Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, yeah.
Super
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy 2, it is I never seen one under $30
Mm,
because Super Mario Galaxy 2 is like a director's cut of Mario
mm,
Galaxy,
mhm.
and it's so good, and it hasn't been reported over. The first one has, but number two is so much better. Like Super Mario Galaxy 2, it really is like a director's cut. Like we couldn't put all this in Mario Galaxy 1. Mario Galaxy 2 is so good, the music's so much better, so much more power ups. I mean, it's a great game, and I've never seen one under $30. I don't know how long it is. I don't know how much it is right now. Maybe I look it up on price chart and see how much they are, but vintage stock, they be charging like $50, $60. GameStop,
Oh yeah. But
they
we
charge.
see that too, like Comic Cons. What we've noticed is that every now and then we'll go to a Comic Con and there'll be a booth that is video games. And they're like the only booth there, or they're one of two booths. What they charge for systems and stuff. And Doug and I go to cons, we help Brian with his, and we've seen what the prices are generally. You go to Price Charting and check. It's crazy. Like they try to take advantage of being the only game booth at a Comic Con. And it's crazy some of the stuff they charge. It's nuts.
Well, and they're way more than Price Charting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll look them up and like 100% over.
That's a prime price.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And then GameStop, they do good. They do good, okay. But you gotta watch them too, because like everybody's trying to make a buck. Everybody trying to especially everybody know games are worth something. That's why I don't. When people complain like, "Oh, these games cost money," yeah, games cost a lot of money, y'all. Like some games are, and you're not gonna get like a full box mark. Now, that's another thing too. Like if you go to GameStop and they get somebody traded the games in with the box, it's gonna be the same price. Like at time I walked into GameStop and got those Sega Saturn games, I was like, and that was like probably the best thing I ever got in GameStop. Somebody, an employee, traded his Sega Saturn games into GameStop. And then they said, oh yeah, he had a game, some Dragon Saga that he didn't want to trade. We didn't take. And I said, where's this employee at? I said, he probably is stop.
Right.
I said, you think I can go in and talk to him? He said, yeah. Man, I went over there and
was he older, younger?
He was all right, but
older. Right. So it wasn't like a kid who got his dad's Saturn and decided to turn it in or anything. Didn't know anything about it.
He said, stop working, right? And I said, man, I heard you got these games. He said, yeah, I got them. He went to his car and he had all these games. He had Panzer Dragoon Saga, right?
Oh my goodness.
He said, yeah, this is the crown jewel right here. I said, absolutely. I know what it is. And then I was like, I said, dude, how much you want for that? And he said, and he had all these games and stuff. He said, well, $50. I said,
wow.
Absolutely.
Because you just keep putting yourself out there.
$50. I was like, yes, sir, I would take that right now. And I called me. I said, dude, look what I got. And I showed him I was like,
that's awesome.
He said, how much you get it for? I told him he was like $50. And
yeah.
So we get that if you go to Japan.
I was going to say, looking back on all this, it looks like the retro games are popular. GameStop has a retro store now. We're having these retro conventions. How do you think the retro gaming community has evolved since you first started?
How's it evolving, in your opinion, from what you've witnessed in this timeline of retro gaming?
And I guess to say, what do you see it evolving in the future? Is it going to maintain or is it going to die out?
I know it's a bit of a crystal ball question.
It's being more diverse. But also too, sometimes it can be a little toxic. And the toxicity comes from like Facebook, from private Facebook groups. Not all of them, but some, like in social media. And it's this thing like people want to enjoy games, but then people want to like crap on your happiness. Like you get something good, people even think you showing off, or this competition starts. Like video game collecting is not a competition.
No.
And it's like,
not at all.
Well, look at my game collection; it's much bigger than yours. Like, okay, who cares?
Yeah, it should be something that connects people because you have something in common versus
on a personal level. Yeah, definitely.
Like people want to. I think a lot of people now, well, not now. Well, it's starting to die. People are collecting for value instead of collecting for like just what means to them or fun. And you can collect any kind of way you want. That is definitely okay, right? Yeah. But don't
rain on someone else's parade.
Yeah, like let people just collect how they want to. Like necessarily, like collect and play how you want to. Like if you want to like emulate. If you want to buy a expensive game, buy a expensive game. If you want to buy a cheap game, buy a cheap game. It's like it's like your opinion is better. Is always right. No, it's your opinion. It's opinion. Some games I hate, and you hate that game. I see that argument all the time. Like doesn't let people have opinion. It's okay. It's okay if people have an opinion. It ain't gonna hurt you. How's it hurting you? why people are pocket watching, and I just don't get that. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's the jealousy, but on the other hand, when I go to these conventions and all kind of stuff, that's why I feel all the love, and I don't see
Yeah.
no fights, I don't see
That's
no
true.
trolling and stuff. So it's so different. Like online is terrible, it's
Yeah.
toxic. In person is
Yeah.
great. I always say just get your group of friends who you know, like a group of friends around, and like text message group or whatever y'all little group they're gonna do. Go out and have fun with that, and just kind of ignore the noise because a lot of people like to focus on other people's opinion and the noise. Just take it as a grain of salt. If you
I
don't like it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
perspective. Sorry to interrupt you,
No, go
Keith.
ahead, please.
I was just going to say at the conventions, people watching, and I'm being very respectful, but you see the type of people that love retro conventions coming to retro conventions. And
Mhm.
I say that respectfully, like, this is their place. This is
Yeah.
what they love. This is their passion. And you get to see not the everyday normal shopper coming into these conventions. And that's what I like about it.
And I
Yeah.
love, like, when we're working booths, one thing I love seeing the variety of t-shirts that come
Oh,
through.
absolutely. Yeah.
And what I love is when I see a t-shirt I like or see one I'm not seeing, and you compliment somebody and you see their face light up, and
Yeah.
then you start talking like they're holding a game, and
Yep.
they're like, "Oh, I love," and then you say, "Oh, I played that," I haven't played that. Tell me about it.
Mhm.
And you are right. And honestly, I think what you're getting to is really what's wrong with the world right now. Like, it's almost like in the gaming community and just in general, like people hide behind the screens and the keyboards, and they like to be divisive and mean because you can hide behind that, right? You
Yeah.
get in front of a person though at like these conventions and you start talking to people and you get around them, and you're right. Doug and I talk about this all the time, whether we go to a comic con or we're going to a gaming con, people are so kind generally. I've not had a bad interaction
No.
with
Mhm.
somebody,
Yeah.
and I think you're right, and it's because the screen isn't there, and
Yep.
you get that connection of we're all here for the same reason and we all love what we're doing. And this is
Yeah.
why Doug and I started this podcast, because it's like we just love sharing technology and what's going on in the news, and it's like sitting around friends having drinks and just trying to build a community of positivity. So I love what you're saying about it, because we've witnessed that too. There's a lot of haters out there, and I just think people are just, it's easy to hide behind your keyboard and be mean, because that's way easier than joining
Mhm.
in and being nice.
Oh my goodness, so easy. And it's like, why are you doing it? Like, I used to go
Yeah.
back and forth with people too. Like, and
Yeah, you
now
can't get
like
sucked in.
it was like now it's like a term we use in the South. I don't got time to play with nobody else's kids. I like
Yeah,
I
that's
just
true.
don't have time. I like, especially when I first wake up, I see something crazy. I'm like, I can't even respond because I know me and I know how smart I can get sometimes, and I know how to like get right back. It's too much energy.
But
It's
isn't
too.
that a difference between a 20-year-old you and a
Mhm.
40-year-old you too? Because you
Oh yeah,
also, you know what you want to waste your time on and what you don't. And
yeah.
sometimes as I get older, I'm just like, man, you want to argue with me? I love No Man's Sky. And
Mhm.
if I mention something on the podcast about it and somebody starts hating in the comment, I'm not gonna argue with you about No Man's Sky. It's got like millions of sales. You don't have to like it. Like pick one thing and somebody wants to crap all over it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you. I ain't got time for that.
I ain't got
Block.
time for it. Yeah, block.
Block. If you ain't gonna be nice.
Then they make a post. Oh, so and so blocked me. Like,
Don't
yeah,
be a jerk. Be nice.
why? And when I see
Absolutely.
people like that, I say, I want to block you too.
Yeah. You have to do that. That's the only response you can have in a world like it is today with divisiveness. I mean, especially to argue about something like this. Like, oh,
Oh,
my collection's better than you. Oh, look at that guy. He's got a fake background. He doesn't have a real room. I mean, come on, man. Just stop. Just
it's
stop.
it's it's oh my goodness, y'all. It's
It
it's so crazy. Like, go out and do something. Go out and meet a man, a woman, or something. A
yeah.
squirrel or something.
That
Go
squirrel.
Yeah.
something. So, like, I really think a lot of these people are lonely, and they just
Yeah.
sitting there and they lonely and they sad, and they be putting they like, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna say this, and just be upset. Like, we have it so good. Like last night I was talking
We
about
do.
on the podcast. Like, just think about this, right? We got everything we kind of need right here. And if you grew up in the Radio Shack days, this
No.
maybe at a
Oh, I
Radio Shack,
remember.
yeah. Like what? You had to pay for this device, this device, this device, this device, this device, this device. It's just like, wow, man. Like,
Yeah.
we,
We're
we
so
got
blessed. And people forget that.
we are so good. And then people, oh, he didn't follow me. Shut up. Stop.
Yeah.
Just
You
have
should
fun.
make the world a better place than in which you found it. And if you're just being negative all the time, that negativity is going to breed more negativity. So it just boils down to that.
If I
So
had
I
this
don't
as
know.
a kid, I
Oh,
look, I dreamed having this when I was a kid, bro.
oh
As a
yeah.
kid, I
Absolutely.
dreamed of having. I said,
Yeah.
what if one day just had like all the game system on like a little thing? I
Yeah.
remember when the Palm Pilot came out. I thought that was a game changer. I
Oh,
was
I
like,
know. Me too.
I'm a
Yeah.
Palm Pilot or the BlackBerry.
Yeah.
And then,
I can play Snake on my Nokia.
do you remember when they killed like I forgot which one, but they had like the different face plates. And you
Yeah.
just
Yeah, you could change your faceplates
We've
out.
talked
Yep.
about that on the podcast. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
love back in the
And
day.
that thing was indestructible.
It
Oh my
was.
gosh.
I remember I
And
had lost my key in the snow, and
oh yeah.
and then I
It
got back
still
and I
worked.
drove, and it
Yeah.
still worked. Man, I had
Yep.
No
don't know
joke.
don't
My oldest daughter, so she's 20, she's gonna kill me if she watches this. She's 23 now.
yeah.
Sorry, Leah. But we had a family phone because we refused to like. This is like around the time, like we're talking mid 2000s. Like not everybody had a
Oh,
smartphone yet, and it was one of those Nokia block phones. And I
yeah.
think she had, and it may have even had the slide with the keyboard, but it was a Nokia. And I think she lost it one day out playing, and I found it 6 months later when I was mowing. Now, it had been rained on, and it was covered in mud. I pulled it out of the yard. I cleaned this thing up, put it in rice, charged it. It booted up and still worked, and it had gone through winter. Dude, they don't make electronics like that
No.
anymore.
They don't. Remember when the StarTAC first came out, the first flip phone, that
Mhm.
black one that had a little pulled up antenna,
Yeah.
I
and
was about to say that. Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was what orange, it was black,
Mhm.
and it was
Yep.
the dials were orange, and you be
Yep.
like, oh snap! Look at this. I would just sit
I'm
there and be like, flip it, flip it,
I
flip
know.
it.
I remember how cool I felt when I got a razor. Remember how thin that thing was? Like
Razors
those
were
razor
so
phones?
dope, man. Yeah,
That is
but
a
I
phone.
hated texting on it though. But some people can text great on Razor.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Razor, oh my good. And then another phone that I really loved back in the day. They tell you how much nerdy I am too. So, remember the Windows phone, not the Windows phone, not the
Okay.
before that, like
Yep.
the big thick PC phone, which you can flip up and had like
Yep.
the power PC phone.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had one of those.
Yeah, I think that was running like
It
Windows
came with the
CE,
little
if I remember right.
stylus too.
yeah,
Some of them did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then another phone because I've always been like I'm always a tech person. I love like crazy new tech. I love the Zoom phone. The Windows.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Zoom came out? The Zoom
Oh,
was. Oh, I love the
Yeah.
Zoom.
the
The
Zoom is an
Windows.
awesome media playing device. And
I
then the
still love
phone. Oh,
the Zoom.
yeah.
But think about back this way. Okay, so the Zoom, right? You remember the UI on the Zoom?
Mm-hmm. It's great.
The same UI now is on the Xbox.
Yeah, I
So
noticed that.
they
Yeah.
use the same UI for that.
Yep.
For that, and then the tablets and stuff, and then
Mhm.
the Zoom, then the Windows phone. The
Yep.
Windows phone was underrated, yo.
It was a good phone.
It was,
Yeah.
Before they went to the tiles, it was an
yeah,
amazing phone.
it
The
I
was
mean,
tiles
really,
amazing.
kind of ruined it for him, I
it
think.
boiled down to apps. The
Yes.
reason why, and honestly, this is no different than we talk about game consoles. The
Mhm.
library matter. Like you were talking about Xbox, and like look at the difference right now when it comes to, and I'm not saying exclusives defines you, right? But
Yeah.
your library, whether it is mobile app library and the
Mhm.
support you get for that, and how new and fresh it is, and what you can do on that, the apps, the software, the games, that's what enables the hardware. In my opinion, the Windows Phone is a great phone, but where it just Apple with there's an app for that
Yeah.
campaign, it just they annihilated them in
No.
Every,
the
they
in the
changed.
library. Yeah.
I remember getting the first iPhone. I waited 9 hours in front of AT&T. Had me a tent. Had pizza delivered to the tent. I was had
Nice.
my pepper out there. Going back to that, man. The first iPhone was a
It was a
freak
game changer.
It was.
Yeah.
But
because
remember people hating on it? They're like, "Why do I need to get on
oh
why
yeah,
do I need to get on the internet on my phone? Like, well, I don't want to
now
browse on
nobody
that
can live
screen."
without the iPhone, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
You
like
go back to the keynote addresses, and I bring that up a lot. That
mhm,
keynote address of
Mhm.
it's a phone, it's a media
everybody,
device, it's a
it's a music
music player.
player.
It's crazy.
Dude, he was right?
He was.
Like
Yep.
seriously, in our lifetime, like well, I guess I ain't say lifetime, but in the last 20 years, one major device that changed everything was the reinvention of the smartphone. How Apple
Definitely.
reinvented it.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I always think people are like, oh, we have it first on stuff like, okay, I get Android users saying that, right? But I
Yeah.
always say, hey, go and better test that for we'll steal it later.
Well, that's just it. Android is first for a lot of things. They
Yes.
really are,
Yeah.
and they have a good purpose on a lot of devices. It's very
Mhm.
versatile for program, but Apple just does it in the Apple way
I
that
love my
gets
iPhone,
it.
man.
They get it
Love
locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love my iPhone. Like I
yeah,
just
Yeah, I'm a
upgraded this year, and I didn't really
Du-
want to upgrade, but I needed it because like
yeah.
I needed USB C for like
Yep,
just content
oh
creation.
yeah.
Because the
yep,
14, I wasn't really wanting to gear that phone up, but just
yeah,
looking at the iPhone and just using it, you get it. Like you can hand it to like
yeah,
a 2 year old, they get it. You know,
yeah, yeah.
like even Android stuff, you'll get it, but you get hung up on something.
Well,
Everything is
and
so
it's that
fluid.
same reason though why Android people love it is because you can do so much with it, but it's more complex. And for me, I'm in the IT world for my mainline career,
Mhm.
and I want it to just work, and I don't want to fiddle with it. And
Yep.
Apple products just work for me, and I ain't got to fitz around with it.
So,
And that's the appeal to me. Now, Doug, he was hardcore
Yeah.
Android, but this year
Well, I think
he
that's the
joined
reason
our
I
cult.
switched.
are you switching
Android, I
over?
loved. Yeah, I'm rocking it right now.
Oh, snap. So okay, let me ask you this: when you switched, how long did it you get that adjustment, and then after the adjustment, they did like you like, oh, I should have done this a long time ago.
Good question.
You know, the adjustment period was kind of skewed because I got an iPad first, and the iPad runs similar
Okay.
to the iPhone. I thought, let's try this because I needed a tablet for work,
Yeah,
and it helped me transition. The one thing I've talked about is battery life, battery life, battery life.
yeah,
If we had a podcast on a couple weeks ago, I think,
Yeah.
talked
mhm,
about I have my car charger, I have a battery pack, I'm ready for the convention, and here Keith is going with his iPad, and
No,
he's
it's my
like,
my iPhone.
"Charger?
Yeah,
Who needs a
I
charger?"
use GPS. I stream Pandora. We took pictures and video for the podcast all the
yeah.
way to Kansas City, 2 hour drive there and back. That's 4 hours in the car. Never plugged it in once. We get home. He charged all damn day with that Android.
Yeah.
And I
Oh
text
yeah.
him, I'm like, I'm at
Oh yeah.
32%.
So
Android,
that is my love of it. I think the big thing for me was maybe I'm getting old, but I
You
had
are.
an Android for customization and hey, wallpaper, whatever song you want, whatever ringtone. But now it's like I don't really want that. So I needed something more business like, I guess. Not that I'm some business guy, but
yeah.
something that ran more efficiently for me.
Yeah.
And well, the good thing about like I say, like yeah, Android, you're gonna get customization, and
Sure.
sometimes you get cooler phones first, like the flip. Like people are into these like folding phones. I say I'll let Apple
Yep.
figure it out, and like the the OnePlus phones overseas are amazing phones,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
amazing phones. But like if you use it as a daily driver, it's like really because
Yeah.
all these phones seriously are really like they're capped out like gaming. Everything's kind of capped out right now.
Mhm.
It's nothing really new under the sun. And it just efficient in how you use it and what you use. I'm so into the Apple ecosystem that it uses like I'm coming. I cannot imagine having a PC, right? I go and I do all my recordings on this, and then I try to upload to my PC. That'd
It
be
acts different.
nightmare. So I
Yeah.
get this like,
Yeah.
and then if I can't USB C, if it's like too slow for my computer, which is not, but I can airdrop it to my computer, open up, Final Cut Pro,
Yep.
put it in there, edit it, boom, out.
It's seamless. It's
Yeah.
seamless all across the, yeah. Yeah.
And if I have
Yeah,
some,
that's
then
one
if I
thing
have
that attracts
somebody
me.
who has something, I just touch their phone like, hey, get this right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It
that
just
blew my
works.
mind.
Mhm.
So I went to a conference in Idaho,
Hmm.
way up there. Person I've never met in my life. She took a photo of me at this conference. Hey, I'd like to share a photo of you. Okay, and she saw I had an iPhone. She just airdropped it to me. First time I've airdropped.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is this magic here?
it's awesome, and they're so efficient, and that's the thing that to me, Android has its place. I think it's good. I think it's good for smart devices like Alexa runs Android, Nest thermostats, Ring doorbell. It's great for that. It does a good job. However, there's the efficiency thing, and this is like and don't get me wrong, I have a Windows gaming machine because I have that. I also have all my consoles, but I'm also a big Mac guy. My daily driver for work is a Mac, and it's so funny. People don't understand that they'll crap on Mac like, oh, well, the Mac Mini M4, by the way, which is amazing, only has 16 gigs of RAM. Here's the thing: Mac OS, and the same for the phone. The OS is so efficient; it doesn't need more than 8 gigs of RAM. You got to have that with an Android or with Windows because it's a grossly inefficient operating system. I'll
Mm-hmm.
get off my soapbox. Sorry,
No, no, no.
the
No,
nerd
you're
got
good.
triggered in me there. Back off before I start talking
I
about
get it.
CPU threads.
I get it. Like, I, me and that started getting cool, right? And he was like, started taking you too serious. I said, dude, just go get a MacBook. And once he got a MacBook,
I know.
it was
I tell
over.
people that. Like a lot of people like, well, my kid's going to college. And I'm always asked the question, are they going to do video editing? Are they going to do gaming? Like those general questions. And I try to get to it. And oftentimes, like, just get a MacBook. Like, yeah, but man, it's like X amount of money. I'm like, but it'll last like 8 to 13 years, depending on what they
Oh
use it for.
my
You
gosh.
can't say that about a PC. You can't.
No. What was the
I'm in the game.
Yeah.
what was the last MacBook that had the glowing Apple logo? What MacBook? What year
Oh, they got rid of that.
was that?
I'm,
2016.
I was going to say 16 or 15
Okay, so
because, yeah.
I had that computer right for
Hmm.
like 7 years. That
Hmm.
was my main one before I moved to the M1 Mac, right? Did the
Hmm.
M1 Max come out like 17, 18?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So whenever I got the M1, right, the new M1s, and
Yeah. The M1's a little bit later than that. Um,
okay,
yeah, a little bit later. I was like,
okay. So whenever I got the M1, right, I still had that's why I had it longer.
you still had that old?
I still had that old one and was running perfectly.
Oh, I
And
know.
then I sold that right there, right? I sold that Mac, the old Mac I had. I sold it for like $900.
Oh, wow.
Well, and that's the thing I noticed too is Apple products hold their value so
Value.
well.
Because
They
I could,
they keep working. That's
yeah,
why,
I
Doug.
buy
Yeah.
a $1,000 Android, and 2 weeks later, hey, you want $50 for this thing? Or
But you know what's nuts to me though? They that's exactly true. They put like they're now putting M1 like this is my iPad. It's got a freaking M1 in it. They're putting like the M4 in a Mac Mini, and you can get a Mac Mini for $599.
oh, that was a good deal. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then you can we get into like the I saw this one review about I think it was ETA Prime did a whole thing about Mac Mini and being able to do retro gaming on it.
Mhm.
I mean, you're talking the heavy stuff too. You can do like
Yes.
Xbox 360 emulation on that M4. It's
Wow.
getting interesting in that whole space. So yeah,
I was
huge
looking
Mac
at
fan.
the new Mac Mini too. I was thinking of getting one though, man, because like
If
you
you
can
It
get
starts at $599. I think it's a
it's
great
599, but if
price.
you edit now, they do have a pro model. But since you do a lot of video editing, that's like where it's at, man. Because the amount of thread throughput. Now they do have a pro model. It's like the M4 Pro that's meant for like higher end video editing.
Mhm.
But man, a straight up Mac Mini, 599, straight M4. They come stock with 16 gigs of RAM. You can go more, or you can
all
upgrade
of,
it later.
all of them start coming with 16 gigs now.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. That's the baseline. You can go up higher if you want, but it will destroy your edits. Like your rendering. I don't know what your render. What are you running right now? Like for your Mac? What do you have?
Let me
Like is it a
see.
MacBook Pro or are
No, it's
you
MacBook Pro. It's a 2021 16-inch MacBook Pro.
that's
What is
good.
it? M1 Pro. I'm still running M1.
M1. Dude, if you got a Mac Mini, it would probably run circles around that. That's
I know,
insane.
right? I'm
Yeah.
like, I know.
For 599? Oh.
And when I'm looking at my settings, I'm looking at this Mac Pro because like so the one for 599 10 core
Mm-hmm.
GPU 16 256. Right now I'm running 256 on here. Well, I think 512,
Mm-hmm.
but let me see, 512, 16 gigabytes, M1. Man, I know that oh
I know. And you can go and you can do a benchmark compare. There's some websites I can send you where you can go look at your model you have and compare it to the M4 and see what your potential render times would be for Final Cut and things like that.
yeah, I
That's
know.
the one thing
But
that's
it's so
dangerous
worth
about
it,
this.
though. Like,
We make
you
you
know what?
spend money.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but go ahead. I'll say what you say. What you about to
Oh,
say?
sorry. That's the one thing I was going to say is dangerous about Keith and I's relationship is we find these things
We enable
and we're
each other.
like, ooh, do I
But
really want to buy this?
you
But
know what? I want the Mac Studio though.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's supposed to be I don't know. That's supposed to be a nice system too, man.
But
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 you're a content creator though. That fits for you.
yeah, but see, look. the Mac Studio, they still have the M2s. I'm sorry, guys, if we're going into the nerdy stuff. Not to
That's
like
why
game.
it's called Wired
No,
Nerdy.
hey,
This is what we do.
cover all kinds of things. Yep, we're
Like
good.
so, like I've been looking at the studio for a while now.
Yeah.
Like the I also too like taking my Mac with me sometimes, but
Yeah.
Mac Studio I probably just pop it up and but hook it to the TV. But what I am really going to edit,
Mhm.
like when I go to Japan, I'm definitely going to take
I,
my laptop.
I saw a video of a lady that took the M4 Mini. She's able to put it in her purse, but here's the crazy thing: she had one of those Vision Pros. What she does, she literally she has the smaller keyboard and she has the Magic Mouse and she has the Vision Pro. She can put that in a small bag, travels with it, and she has a battery pack that she runs it off of. No, and like her monitor is her Vision Pro, and it all connected seamlessly to the Mac Mini. And she's doing video editing and stuff. So it's funny. A lot of people are trying to push the Mini and being a travel device. Now you'd have to find a monitor if you didn't have a Vision Pro because those are pretty expensive.
Yeah, it just I'm just like, but like the M1, it still does good.
Oh,
Like
it's
I
a
don't think
great processor.
I don't
Oh,
think it is. I don't think it is like I run out of space a lot because I'm always editing
yeah.
videos. Run out of
Yeah.
so much space, so
Yes.
like I gotta keep buying hard drives, and I need to get like maybe one of them SATA drives with them
Yeah.
enclosures to
Yep.
get more thing and like put it like somewhere. I need to invest for that in the next couple of years because I got so many videos now.
Yeah.
But oh man,
Do you archive a lot of your videos, or once you edit and you're done, you have your final? Do you keep do you keep all the beta content you didn't use?
yeah,
Um,
I do. I keep it on hard. I need to get it all somewhere.
so
'Cause-
yeah, but my point is if you're just using for storage, you would be better off to do one of those like NAS, like network attached
yeah,
storages. You can get like a 12 terabyte real, for a decent price. If you're just storing it. Now, if you're wanting speed, I don't suggest that because those are like traditional spinning drives. You want to stick with a solid state drives if for your editing. Dude, you and I can talk. I can help you out if you.
oh yeah, and like they say, like I was just looking at stuff on Mac, and it always saying Mac Studio. Like I need a. They were saying like Apple saying M2 Max, 32 gigabyte, Mac Studio.
Yeah,
But the only thing is, right, as soon as I buy this joint, next year they're gonna update the Mac Studio.
they will. They will.
They're gonna update the Mac Studio, so I know I can hold off another 6 7 months. But
Yeah. It for
next year,
me, I would do the Mac Mini with the M4 Pro is what I would do right now. If you look at the performance for bang for buck right now, but you are right because if you wait, they are going to release another studio, um,
they
probably
are
next year. I would say.
because, like I said, the MX, the Max, the M2 Max chip, right?
Hmm.
What's the difference between the M2 and the M4? I mean,
It's the amount of cores and
mm,
the how like the throughput. So
I
again,
mean,
you can go out and check some benchmarks to see the difference of like what your render
yeah, I
times would be
need
on your
to
videos and things like that.
because I'm not doing on IMAX no more. I mean, IMAX are just like
They're
they're
beautiful though. They're putting M4s and do you see how thin they are? They are pretty.
they
Um,
are pretty.
they are
I
They
know
don't
pretty.
take up any room at all.
I mean,
Yeah.
they got M4s in the new IMAX too, and they
They
like
do.
18. So anything under
But
2000,
dude, they're just attaching an iPad to a stand. That's what they're doing.
that's all they doing. Yeah, that's all they're doing.
Do you
I mean,
remember the iMac that looked like a lamp?
I remember that.
I saw a dude, he gutted one out and
Uh-huh.
put an M4 in the base, fit inside of it, and yeah, and he modded it. Yeah.
I
Nice.
had speaking of Mac, I remember I bought the Mac Pro. Remember when it was a little cylinder?
Yeah.
I bought that one time, and I took that joint back because
The
it was
cube.
not the cube, but a cylinder cube. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
a little circle cube. That thing was so garbage.
That one, that was the first time though what they did was it had no motorized fans. It was all passive cooling. So the heat would rise from the
Mhm.
processor and the heat would spin the fan, but there were no motors in it. So it was quiet,
Uh,
but it had a lot of problems. But that did lead to them being able to have innovation in some of their other spaces with their other oddities that they had, with
yeah,
like the colorful Macs with the handles and things like that.
yeah,
So
man. Like this. I mean, it's really have like this new Mac Mini. It's really been like ooh, it changed a lot of heads, man. Because
yeah,
I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about getting one. I
I
mean,
know.
just
Doug texted me when they had their keynote a few weeks back. He texted me, and that night I watched it. I messaged him like, "Man, I'm at the buy one. This is why this podcast is really
Bad
tough.
relationship sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough on the wallet because we always discover he'll bring up things. Hey, did you hear this? And I'll say, oh yeah, did you hear this? And we're always sharing this kind of stuff. And so yeah, it's
So just like think about this too, right? I'm looking at it like the M4s have like a 14 or 20 core, but the Ultras, God dang, they have like a 76 core.
They do because
And that's M2, but like if they're gonna be an M3, right?
Yes.
This thing wants to go to be next. It's gonna be crazy.
256 cores.
It's gonna be crazy. Like,
but you got to realize why they have to do this though. Because remember, so we're at 18.1 for iOS, and then also for for iPad OS, and then you got Mac OS. I think we're in Sequoia now. They're about to release in the next subversions Apple Intelligence, and you have to remember a lot of that AI stuff requires heavy threading because one thing Apple's doing different. All their AI is going to run locally. It's not like they're handing off everything to ChatGPT in the cloud. It's going to be ran on chip for a lot of your questions. So they have to up those threads to handle the AI that's going to be running on your device soon when Apple Intelligence comes out. That's why they're doing that.
And also too, like I know I can sell this laptop, but would I want to sell this M1? You know, like first generation M1. I mean, I know I can get 1,000 for it.
Oh, easy for that M1.
Yeah,
easy.
But would I want to sell it though? You know, because I've been having it since 2021, and I mean it's a damn good computer, man.
Or get yourself a baseline mini, test it and edit on it, see if you like it at all before you even make a decision on the M1. You know, you could try. I mean, for that price, you could try the performance and compare it to what you're doing now before you make that leap. But you are right. If you want to go like whole hog, I only would recommend the Studio, in my opinion. If you're doing like even heavier than content, we're talking if you are rendering in 8K, like my friend of mine, he has a film studio and he edits all on Mac. Like he has all Mac studios because he is doing full-blown 8K motion pictures and commercials for like Visa and Disney and stuff like that. So he needs that, right? But
Pro probably be the best thing.
If you're sticking at 4K, man, I think a studio is overkill. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
You playing a video game? What are you doing? No,
getting a phone call. See, I get to customize my iPhone too. I'll put that on silent next time.
That's awesome.
Man, but no, like I'm looking at the M4 does like I'm a Leo. I love expensive stuff. I love nice stuff. So I'm always buying overkill. Yeah. Like the Studio is overkill, but the M4, M4 Pro for $13.99 is not bad.
That's not bad, dude. Just check out the benchmarks and compare it, and I bet you'd be able to make a decision. So, all right, I'm gonna pivot for a moment, if you don't mind. Now, I need you to fact check me, Mr. Wrightway, on this. Okay. So here we go. So I recently realized that we're relatively close in age. Now, you were 21 years old in 1999 when you were in the Navy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I got that right. Okay. So I graduated high school in 1998. And so we're only a couple years apart. So I learned more about your background from a video you posted a few weeks back that deviated from your usual format, in which you became very vulnerable and you shared a personal story about your time in the service in the Navy and an accident that led to a disability. And I have to tell you, it was, and I think I mentioned this to Neo Ness when we were talking, but it was one of the most raw and authentic videos I have ever seen on YouTube. And it gave a glimpse into, you as a person, dude, like that's such a change in your normal. What inspired you to do that video? Because a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people that create content, they stick to the mode. They don't want to deviate. What led to that? And I know you're not like, you don't hide, you mentioned things in the past in your content, but that video, you got real. Yeah. Like what led to that, man? I mean, that was very brave of you to do. And I love that video. It was awesome. So what led to that? Like, did you just wake up that morning like, I want to talk about this, or like?
I've been wanting to do that for the last like 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years. I've just been praying about it and just been, talking to friends and different stuff and seeing what the right time for it and stuff. And just because I hate doing, I hate seeing videos like that for clicks. Sure. Some people would take advantage. Yeah, some people would do the sympathy video just for clicks, or I want you to feel a certain way about it. and I wanted to build enough credibility over time and just like, hey, this is me.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I'm gonna mess up words. I'm gonna mispronounce stuff. I'm, I, I'm I take a full advantage of everything. I'm just gonna be real. A lot of people on YouTube want to be super polished and not make a mistake. And like my video about my Xbox video, I was saying like, hey, I still stand behind the Xbox, say go and getting stuff out. But you just don't know. I'm always the opinion. I'm gonna get back to it. Like,
Sure.
get it, so you won't have to pay for it later. Because like now it's a new normal price for a lot of those games. And they're speaking like it's a new normal for me, like I see when people see like, oh, look at your fingers or something, say, look, notice stuff. And sometimes I will try to hide that. And then I'm like, why am I hiding? It's just me, be proud of myself. And, it's just me. I'm not going to change. It's not going to just magically grow back. So, I mean, that's what God gave me and I'm surviving. So maybe it can help somebody else. And two, I'm a big mental health advocate. And like, that helped me, my mental health too, because like so many people will see see your finish line or finished product, and you're not even finished. Like I said, they'll see all the finds, but they won't see all the days that you don't find anything. They always see the big wins or pay attention to the big wins. So like, you know what? Hey, I'm just gonna be it's not something I always do all the time, but
Sure.
like, hey, I want people to see, I'm human too. I just like games and talking about crazy stuff, and I'm very opinionated too. Also, like, but just I'm old school like that. Just hey, it's just a lot of decisions like lift. I said, why not? I just felt like I needed to help somebody, and I hope it did.
Well, I appreciated seeing it because you're right in that everybody lives we live in a world of highlight reels.
Yeah.
And what I appreciated was because you don't do that all the time. Because I consume your content, I watch it, and it's funny because oftentimes people only will put out there the very best of everything. And what I appreciated was when you started to connect it to the everyday of the very simple. You're like, look, when I got to get up to go to the bathroom, I have to deal with this. When
Mhm.
like you really put it into the real, and I don't know. To me, I think that was awesome. That was brave of you to do, and you don't do that all the time. And what's funny, the first time I met you, I didn't even know you had a disability because
Mhm.
you came over to the booth and there was the big bin on the ground. You're on the ground with Ness on your knees, and you're going through all of this stuff. And it wasn't until later I started watching your content after I met you. I'm like, you had a disability? No way.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Got right in there.
It was funny too because we were like the other day we was going to Goodwill, and when I go to Goodwill, I'm like with blinders on, I go straight to the game.
Straight to it.
And they said, you just took off running. I'm like, oh, I just do it all the time, man.
You
I'm
got
like,
some
"Oh,
stuff to
yeah."
do. Yeah.
I just, and my mom talking about that, like, you just walk around fast. I'm like, I mean, aren't you glad I'm walking fast? I mean, I'm glad I'm walking. Like, I just don't get, I'm so like hyper sometimes, like I just go.
Yeah.
And that's just how I am, just like
Just go,
when I
go,
was on the
go.
ground looking like games, I'm like, I get really, oh, here I go, I get my voice again. I get really excited, like, to discover like what I'm going to discover for a new game or find something. Like I guess why I like Goodwill so much because I love Christmas, right?
Mhm.
I love like
Yeah.
getting gifts. That's my love language. I love getting gifts. I love giving too, but I really absolutely enjoy like opening something up and seeing like, oh, what is it? Or going to Goodwill and say, can I find something? This is something gonna be new right around the corner or something like that. That's just how it is, And going back to like, putting that out, it just I want to do a little something different, show people like, hey, I am human, I I'm flawed. I make a lot of mistakes. I have issues too. But I mean, it don't stop me, I'm human. And at the end of the day, it's just plastic we talking about.
Yeah.
We talk about love for plastic,
Yeah.
competition for plastic is, and it's really not that serious.
Yeah.
It's really not that serious.
Yeah.
But because these games are going to be here after we gone, and somebody else going to be having them. We just get all the stuff we just got on. It's on loan from God. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
It's
And let's
just,
go back to that community piece, Drew. I mean, it's like it's about building community and showing the authenticity and so that we can connect on so many
yeah.
different levels. And that's the part that I appreciate about it.
Mhm.
Another topic I want to bring up here is that you mentioned your love for professional wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Now,
boy.
it is true that
Yeah.
you're a photographer and
Yes.
you were a photographer for many different organizations, but WWE is a big
Yeah.
one. And how did you come about that incredible opportunity? And just like, have you met any of the talent? Like, tell us about your foray into professional wrestling, man.
I just started showing up like at different like independent events because
Mhm.
I had a camera and I knew that get me in the free so I can watch wrestling, take pictures and stuff, work on my craft, and also see free wrestling, maybe get somebody. And I just never imagined it'll lead like getting to like WWE and photograph WrestleMania and all the stuff. Well, it was a website I was following called PW Insider, which great folks over there,
Mhm.
and they had a thing on there say WWE or somebody was looking for was looking for a photographer or something. They were looking for some photographers. Little did I know it was an audition for like an undercover boss, right?
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
so basically, I filled it out, and then like instantly, like in the next hour, they hit me back up, and I'm like, dang, I said, okay. And I had this meeting like we're doing right here. And it was like these three executives and stuff, and they was telling me stuff. I'm like, okay, can you tell us this and that and all that kind of stuff? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just right here. Had like I said, had my like, oh, you like that? I said, yeah, I do photography. They checked all my stuff out.
Your
I said, okay.
portfolio, yeah.
And then I had another one. I said, what's going on?
Hmm.
I said, okay. And then they said, yeah, okay, so we're doing this show and we want to like see how it is with underground wrestling and photographers and stuff. I said, oh, okay. I ain't thinking about no other coming boss and all that stuff. And then I like the second day when I got on set, I was like, wait a minute. I said, is this undercover boss? I said, and I asked the person driving, I said, this is undercover boss. And he's like, she like, no, this is something. And then they drove us to like the last day of the filming and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And they drove us to like the WWE PC.
Oh, no,
And
it's Performance Center.
and they got us all out in line. I was just like, hey, I want y'all to do all this and walk in and stuff. And I'm like, I said, why is WWE here? I said, what? I said, I need my camera and all that kind of stuff. And then that you watch the show, you do the big reveal, and like it was Stephanie. She pulled off the little mask.
That's so cool.
I was like, everybody said, you faked that. I said, no, I did not fake. I did not know. I did not know that was her. I promise you, I did not know it was her. I said, y'all, I promise I didn't know it was her. And I said, y'all knew because y'all were watching. I didn't know because I was filming. I was all into it. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna show this person. You this ain't fake. This stuff is. I mean, it's predetermined. But I'm saying like what
I get it.
photographers go through is real because photographers don't get. I was like, I'm doing it for us and all that kind of stuff. I'd have had a great life. I had some great adventures and stuff too. And let me tell you about that too. Like sometimes when you're doing content creation and um, don't compare yourself to people, right? Because everybody has their own story, right?
Mhm.
Like, and I have to still do this. I have to not compare myself to anybody else who's doing good. Somebody who may have more followers or more attention or getting more love or something like that. And that's one thing that would like people fight over. It's
Yeah.
attention, love, maybe get more money or something like that. And you have to think about you have to run your own race. You have to have blinders on, and sometimes you can't even look at your competition. You have to just run your race and do what you got to do because, like, if you compare yourself to somebody else, you're gonna mess yourself up. I that was one of the biggest things this year that I dealt with, personally.
Yeah.
Because like I should be growing faster than this, or people should be like liking me more and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking about like, and go back to my spiritual side, by God, like, no, I want you to run your race how you run your race because I want you to reach different people than anybody else. And I'm like, wow, that is right. Because different things like being blessed, like YouTube, Black creator stuff that I got recognized as that, and they gave and right things will happen for you at the right time like that. Like you think about the undercover boss thing, even little small stuff that like finding different stuff, or connecting with certain type of people and stuff. Like everything in life helps you become a better person, and like whatever you pray for, you're gonna get it, but it's gonna come through tests, like patience, like learn how to grow stuff. Just just little small stuff like that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We are on different journeys. And if you keep looking at other people, you'll try to be like them. Try to be like more like yourself. Be next year too, like I'm trying to be more of me, and I guess that's why I put this stuff out. Like the about what happened to me because it's unique to me and not many other people. And I try to just differentiate myself than everybody else. Like I'm not trying to do what everybody's doing. I'm trying to do my own stuff. And when you do stuff different, like one of the big thing is people used to like, and they kind of see it now is I don't collect like everybody. I look at my collecting like going fishing. Like I go out there, I get the big bass, I like look at the trophy and I throw it back.
Catch and release. Yeah.
Yes, and people are like, "What are you doing? I can't believe you sold that." I'm like, "Calm down. It's the journey."
Yeah.
And a lot of
The hunt.
people, I love the hunt,
Mm.
but a lot of people like the hunt and keep and not let go.
Yeah.
And I like listen. And sometimes a lot of gamers are rich, but they're so tied up and stubborn to like what they have. Like, oh, I want to keep this game forever, but I'm deep in debt. Fool, sell that.
Yeah.
Sell that stuff. And
That's
you'll get
such
it. I might never get it back. Okay. Emulate it.
Yeah. You're a lot
Like,
like my brother. He doesn't hold on. Like he has a massive collection, but he's always rotating it out. He
yeah,
loves and he admits it. He's like, I love the hunt more than I
mhm,
do holding on to it.
I
And
do too.
honestly, that's why like when he wheels and deals with people, he's not even in it for the money. Like
Mhm.
he'll like look on price chart and he'll like 50% off try probably should. You dealt with him. You bought a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
from him. Like because he's like you. He's a very catch me at least. He likes hunting for things. Then once he gets, he's like, oh, I got it. All right, and then like sell it. Let's go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
He's very much a kindred spirit with you in that. So
Yeah,
I'm very used to that. But I love what you said too about what's that saying? Comparison is the thief of joy.
it is.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I did not understand it until I experienced it for myself.
yeah,
Because I was comparing myself to a lot of people. And this year I was like, man, I can't do that. Talk to friends. So like, you
yeah.
can't compare yourself to people. I stopped looking at my competition. I don't even know what they do sometimes. If I see them pop up, I don't even look.
Yeah,
I mean, I like it, but it's just for me because I don't want what they're doing to influence what I'm doing.
that makes sense.
And then like I see some people try to do things I do, and I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay. And like I said, I can do it. I do it better, but and you still got a little competition. We're men,
Of
and
course.
this most guys we're very competitive. Sometimes most
Yeah.
men are.
Yeah.
We just that natural like oh no, I can do it better. That naturally thing is us, but I just to try not to compare myself to other people. I don't
Mhm.
want to. And when I started to feel, I said, hold on, let me look back. Let me count my wins. Let me see where I came from. Let me look where I was last year
And let that guide you.
and
Yep.
let that guide me. Yeah,
Hmm.
because you can't do that because you will always, especially the content creator, you will always be looking like, man, it's never enough.
Yeah. But you know what? Like everything you're saying is a philosophy for life. I see people doing this with their children, like, trying to compare their kids to other kids. I see them doing it in their careers. I see people doing this in so many aspects of life. So everything that you're saying is indicative of society right now. It's just like when you were saying earlier about people being negative. We're so
Mhm.
divisive right now. And I think if you lean into what it is that we have in common and what it is we all love and celebrate that, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, I think everybody wins at that point, and it isn't such a selfish endeavor. Boy, we went deep on this one, Doug. I'm sorry. We're just like going.
And
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you're good.
Media too,
You're
y'all.
good.
Social media too, because social media is great. And me, I'm learning that lesson too. Like I would never tell somebody something that I wouldn't have been through. But like staying hours on social media, you got to get off and do something productive. Go play a
Yeah,
game, edit some video stuff, because
yeah,
it's nothing but just a lot of negativity on there.
it
And
is.
also follow accounts that brings you up and not tear you down.
Yep. That's it. Well, I kind of look at it as like they used to say, you are as good as the company you keep.
You are,
I think it's the same for who you follow
yeah,
in
yeah.
social media because if you're always consuming negativity, if you're always with negative people, then I
You
think
come right
that
on.
negativity breeds negativity. Doug, I'm sorry. I think you want to say something. I'll let you roll in there, man.
Oh, nope, you guys are doing good. We can kinda go back to games a little bit. I was interested in your Grail item. I asked Neo Nest if he had a Grail item. Do you have one? And if you've got one, is there number 2 on your list?
Let me okay, real quick. Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
see. All right, so my Grail items were in three pieces, but they're all in Neo Geo stuff, right? So when I started collecting Neo Geo back in 2017, it was three games. I had this was my Neo Geo collection journey. Collecting 2017, sold it all in 2020, picked it back up before COVID, sold it, then started back again. and now, and I always had like three goals. It was three games. First game was this one. This is SVCS Chaos, Capcom SNK versus Capcom.
Very nice.
And this, I just love it for the cover alone, but also too, I'm a big like Capcom guy. I'm a big fighting game fan. And look at that cover. That cover is like amazing. Like two iconic characters about to like battle it out. Oh, it's such a great game. And then where I sold a lot of my kiosks from, this right here, Mark of the Wolves. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
This
Ness talks
this
about that one. He loves that one.
this game is so good. It's like top three fighting games.
Yes.
So good. The iconic the cover is iconic. Look at that. Look
Great
at that.
artwork.
It just that yellow and they pick perfect. They picked the perfect cover for that. Like and Neo Geo did. I just got this and it was I've been looking at it and I love it for the cover. The game is probably in my top 10, not my top 3, not even top 5, but it's a great game too. But the cover's so badass, man. And it's a real bout Fate Fury.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
My
Oh
goodness. I
my
just got
gosh.
that. Look at that.
It
That
looks
is
like it's in great shape too.
Yeah.
it is. It is like this game right here, man. Is it don't pop up often, and then like, oh
Wow.
my goodness. Look how iconic that cover. Look at Geese on the front, looking like man, I will f y'all up, and then I'll get you. Then my boys got you. Like, look how dope this cover is, and
The
like
artwork's amazing.
the
Yeah.
artwork is
Love
amazing
that.
on that, and also too like they got the old UPC right here at the
Mhm.
bottom. Like a lot of Neo Geo collectors love that too, and it's such great shape. And like this game, oh my gosh, it's so dope. So that's like right my Grail items. Like I think I'm done. I don't have any more Grail unless I get like Metal Slug or something like that, like we all want.
Mhm.
But I consider those are my Grail items right now, and I got them. So then they asked me, "What else do you want?" I look like I didn't really had every kind of game that I really want, but those right there I thought I would never have. And man, I found it. I'm like, whew, I got it.
Well, I
Very
teased you
nice.
when you get close to 40K subs, you should go find a Grail, but it seems like you already got your Grail.
I know, right? And these games find me.
Oh, wow, yeah,
Well,
that's
that's even better. Yeah.
They
probably because
find
you're always on the move.
I
That's
am,
why you're always
and
looking for them.
I'm a big proponent of talking things into existence. Like Ness had his Grail game, and and like he said, "Oh yeah, I want this, this, and say," and he always said, "Yeah, I will sell most of my collection for a game I'm looking for," and it happened. And then soon that happened for him. The game I always go and have some look at. I said, I do this. I said, let me just hold the game because if I hold it and see it physically, then it's going to come to me one day.
It's like
And I used
manifestation, man.
yeah, every time I go over his house, I will like look at this game right here, and I look at it and I
Hold
like
it.
yeah, hold it and just like picture it and like and it popped up. I did the same thing for these two right here, like when he had these. I'm like, if you go back on one thumbnail, I'm holding these two games thumbnail, and I end up getting them. I was like, it's so crazy. So I guess I
very
need to go
nice.
and get that double dragon and hold. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna
There
get
you
this
go.
one.
That'll be your next one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll have to sell a lot of kiosk for that, probably though.
probably I'm finding for free.
At a Goodwill.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, and then watch 2 weeks later it happens. I'm like, yo, guess what happened?
That's like Michael Jordan used to say that he would always visualize himself when he would play, like winning, and it's that manifestation aspect of it. There's something to that. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get to that, so well, we're gonna pivot to we're gonna do the same thing we did with you and Ness. Now we've been all over the place on our topics, but the tail of this conversation, we like to do rapid fire questions.
Uh-oh.
We touched some of these already, so they're gonna be easy for you. But
Okay.
it's to dig in because we're always we cover everything. We're huge video gamers, but we're also techie nerds, which you are definitely one of us.
Yes.
So this is an
Yes.
attempt to kind of dig into that a little bit. So Doug and I are
All
going
right.
to take turns here. So
All right.
the first one, which I have a sense because of what you kind of already shared, Marvel or DC when it comes to comic books?
Whew, it goes back and forth,
Oh,
and
you may be
it goes back
eclectic,
and
yeah.
forth because like the movies, definitely Marvel,
Of
but
course.
the cartoons, DC all the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But back in the day when I was collecting comics, it was DC. I mean, I still have my armband from Death of Superman I found the other day. I still had in it. I didn't even use it. I was so distraught. Yeah.
I'm with you,
But
boy.
Dan Jurgens was the Superman, my favorite Superman creator. Like, oh, he was so good. And then like I was in the Batman Detective series. That was
Oh,
really good. I
the
remember
Killing Joke. Oh my gosh, there's so many of those
that
good
messed
ones.
me up.
Oh,
And what also messed me up too was the breaking of Batman. And
oh.
I didn't
Wait a minute. Are you talking Death in the Family, or are you talking when Bane
Ba- Bane breaking a
breaking his?
Batman.
Oh,
He broke his back and he took him out for like several months.
yeah.
And like that last and he
Oh
just
yeah.
like
It's brutal.
that hurt my heart. So that's still all I think about it still hurt my heart.
Have,
Like cause I was such a Batman.
have you
Like
watched
I'm
Penguin?
not yet. I need to watch it.
Oh, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Okay. Everybody
Very
says
good.
I need. Well, how many is it? 12 episodes?
It's 8.
I need to go and watch it.
I
I'm
just
gonna watch
finished it. It's 8 episodes.
it. What is it on?
It's on HBO Max, but
Yep.
it
Okay.
is. I will say this. I'm not going to ruin anything for you because it's so good. It's got such a Sopranos mob feel to
Mm.
it, but it's in Gotham. But here's the thing: it makes me appreciate the Robert Pattinson Batman so much more than I think I did.
They took it from a lot of that from that.
It takes place. So remember, you've seen the Batman movie with Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson, right? No spoilers, everybody. I'm sorry. Well, spoiler alert on that movie. The Riddler, he gets him in the end, but he messes up the city, right? Well, this show takes place 2 weeks after that movie.
Oh, I didn't watch it then.
So you need to check it out if you're a DC guy. And I'm like you, man. I've always was I collected comic books as a kid. And like I collected both Marvel and DC, but DC was my jam because I loved
Yeah, DC.
Superman. I still do. I got a Superman tattoo. Like he's my guy, right? I'm really excited about what James Gunn's going to do with it. I hope it's not too bad. But he did great with Guardians of the Galaxy. So
Oh yeah. I like the new Superman suit because it's a mix of a lot of old Superman suits that people don't understand.
Yeah.
If you look at the new Superman suit,
Yep.
it's a mixture of a lot of good Superman. It's like pieces of like, oh,
some Reeves, some Christopher Reeves in there, yeah. There's a rumor that it is set in like the 70s or 80s too. I don't know if that's true, which also informs some of this. I don't know if that's true. I've read some rumors, but that could also be informing the style of what we've seen of the suit. So
and then also too about DC too is like, I mean, you can move to the next question, but I did appreciate Batman Beyond until I got a little older, right? Because Batman Beyond took place right after the animated series, and like I just love the animated series. Like,
they were great.
Who didn't love Batman? If you told me you didn't like Batman the animated series, I gotta check your nerd card.
No, they're amazing. They're
like,
so good.
I love how they drew because it was so different.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like on white paper, they drew the whole series on black paper, right?
Yeah,
and like so
make it look darker. Yeah.
And and then also too like the hard lines that everybody had, and then like the music. The music was set apart from that orchestra music was like oh, it gave me it's so,
that's funny.
It's so great. Like I love Batman animated series so much. I think superhero cartoons, it will be Batman animated series, and then it will probably be the Adventures of Superman, the Superman or Justice League, whatever, because they kind of blend together, and then Batman Beyond. That's like my top 3. But I'm sorry.
No, that's why we asked. We want to get into it. That's awesome. Doug, you have the next one.
Yeah, next Star Trek or Star Wars?
Neither really.
Oh, are you like a Babylon 5 guy or
no? I mean, like I like them. I like them the same. It's like I got in Star Wars late, but Star Trek was okay. Star Trek was okay. Like, it wasn't a Trekkie. It wasn't like Star Wars nerd. It's like I appreciate the first 3 films. And I got into it, and before the last 3 prequels come in. And, it just I appreciate it, but I'm not a super fan. I love lightsabers. I love having lightsabers. I had them in my house before. I had some before, but just I really know.
Any
Maybe
sci-fi? Is there any sci-fi universes that non-Star Wars, Star Trek that you kind of gravitate towards?
not really,
Not
because I
really.
wasn't even on Sci-Fi Channel when that was stuff was on. I really didn't care for none of that stuff.
Okay.
I didn't
That's fair.
care for none. It was like, okay.
Cool.
No wrong answers here.
No, there isn't. My next one's so easy. Apple or Android? I think we beat that horse.
I appreciate Android though. I do.
I do too. I think they're great for certain applications, and I have a huge appreciation for them. I'm not a hater on them. It's about the right thing for you, man. At that point,
Yeah, because like a pure like Android phone with no scan on it, like just like Google used to do.
yeah.
No more, but I love
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
If I was a hacker, like if I like really hacked, I would be Android all day long because the stuff you can do is
Oh, crazy,
incredible. It's
crazy.
oh yeah.
Oh,
So if I was a hacker, I'd be that. Doug, you get the next one, man.
Next one, we're going to get a little deep, but if you could take only one video game with you on a deserted island, which would that be?
We assume you have
One
power.
game to play the rest of your life, basically.
I'd probably take my iPhone.
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah.
Because I can if I had my phone and never drain battery, I probably would do that because I like games now more like just on the go quick, and then I can get all emulators on my iPhone now, and then like you can get really good games on there and stuff, and all the other games I play I'm good.
It's versatile.
Because then I would take my iPhone because I can order like other games. I got internet and all that kind of stuff. I can't. I would rather lose my wallet than my phone.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, phone's pretty important.
It's getting to that
I
way.
got a follow up to that as a new iPhone user. Can you recommend a game I have to have in the iOS store, not an emulation game?
Mm.
Well, that's a good question, Doug.
Depending on what you like, because now Capcom has Resident Evil 4,
Okay.
and so if you're a big Capcom guy, let me look at my games on here and see what I have on my phone. Like it's games wise, I have a lot of games on my phone, but I haven't played them in a while. Like Chrono Trigger's on here, Mega Man X I have on here. What other games on here? I got let me look at games and see.
As you're looking, I have found that that Delta emulator has been working great. I don't know if you've had a chance to mess
Yeah,
with
the
that.
Delta emulator is dope, man. Like I
It
was
works
down
really good.
so much stuff on there. Um,
It's got
like
all your cover art.
like Pokemon Snap. I'm not Pokemon Snap, but I love like these pinball games on the
Oh,
video.
those are good.
Oh yeah.
Pinball games on here. They're great. Like Chrono Trigger. Like let me see. Like on here, it still runs. It's what's so funny about it, right? Is Chrono Trigger. It like runs like so good on
Look
your
at that.
phone. On
Oh
your
yeah,
Apple.
absolutely.
Like look at that. It just
Isn't it crazy that could you imagine as a kid you'd ever have that in your pocket?
I
Everywhere
know,
you
right?
go? Isn't that
It looks
nuts?
great. Yeah.
That's just
Jeez.
and just sit here and just play it. And like it runs so good on Apple TV also, especially put like a controller and stuff. Like
Now I know you're not into PC gaming, but I do gotta plug it though, Mr. Rightway, is that I found out with my Apple TV, if I
mhm.
downloaded Steam Link and I stream from my Windows gaming PC, it runs almost flawless. Even on Wi-Fi, it doesn't even have to be wired. Um,
Mm.
and then it just runs great. So for those of you out there that may have a PC and have a Steam library, you can play all that on your Apple TV as well. So
Let me tell you, I'm not a big PC gamer, but like my Steam Deck is great. I love playing games on there. But like old school games, I I love Command and Conquer Red Alert. That was such a
that's
Yes.
Doug's game.
Yep. Absolutely.
that's such a great game.
Yeah.
That and SimCity 2000. I
Great
love
games.
those two games.
Great
Hey,
games.
sorry, go ahead.
Go down. You go ahead.
I was going to have a follow up now. You got me going. Red Alert, have you played the remastered edition?
No, I know you know it's a remastered edition.
Oh, they just recently released a remastered, and I'm really, really waiting for them to remaster Red Alert too.
So they remastered Command and Conquer, the first ones, right, Doug? But Red Alert's
Yeah.
coming next, right?
Yes.
That was so many like just sitting there and playing that. It was just so freaking amazing. Like man, it's so good.
What's
like,
cool on the remaster, you can hit a button, right, Doug, and you can switch between the
And it goes
pixelated
from
graphics
the old time, yeah,
to the
but I
clean.
believe it's Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Oh, does it
Grail,
have both? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on the second one. The second one was really good.
Oh,
All
wait.
the new airships and stuff.
Let me look. So it does have Command and Conquer included. You're talking about Red Alert. The first one, it's Red Alert 2 is the next one they're going to come out with, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm waiting on.
I'm with
Yeah,
you now. All
Red
right.
Alert, the Red Alert was such a great game. I don't
it
know
was
why.
great. Yeah.
It just brought me in,
So
and
good.
it was good. It was so good. I was like, me and my cousin, we played a heck of a ton of that on his PC back in the day. Which is like, because that was one of the few games you can get running really good.
Can.
And once you get it running good, it was like it wouldn't stop. And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is great.
I got into
And
that.
then,
I got into that more
Todd-
than I did StarCraft. I will
Yeah.
say that. I don't know for the real
And
time
then
strategies.
the videos and all the actors that did the voiceovers and the videos is really good.
Tim
And
Curry.
then Tanya being all sassy when you have your Tanya missions.
Oh yeah.
And go back to one of Wing Commander was pretty good too. But I didn't
Oh, that's his game right there.
Dude, you are hitting all of our favorites. My God.
Yeah.
those games back then because remember when because they had the corny FMVs back in the day. They were so corny, but they were great.
But they had Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, they had some top-notch actors.
They
there.
did. I love those games. And I love the concept of being able, now it's no big deal, but being able to choose a different discussion piece and the story go a different way. Like that's just like story arcing, branching, like
Those games, man, it was just like,
dude, I love those games.
Man, like y'all be uncovering all this nerd stuff. Like
that's what we do, man. That's why it's called what it is. All right, next question. What's your favorite technology? You talked about electronic cars or EVs, but like, what's your favorite technology right now? Is it EVs? Is it something else? Like what
right now, all time. I mean,
yeah. What do you get excited about? Technology in general, right now.
I guess I always say advancements in internet because internet is probably the best of all. But I'm really liking the EV space.
Sure.
I'm really like seeing like everybody like getting better EVs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm really an EV nut. Like I'm not a really big fan of Elon, but I mean, what billionaire are you gonna tell what to do? But you know,
That's
I don't
true.
read a lot of his stuff, but man, the cars and stuff, that like the Lucids, even the new Hummer HV, looks
Where it goes
dang
sideways.
good.
Oh yeah.
Have
you seen the, have you seen the lawnmowers?
No, I haven't seen the Hummer.
I have a lawnmower that is a 0-turn electric lawnmower, and I love it. It's fast. I can mow my yard in like no time at all. I have about 3 acres, and I can get it all done mostly in a charge. So even for mowers, so EV technology, even beyond like what they're doing is amazing.
I love solar technology. Like I really want a all solar roof on my next house. I want to go fully electrical, all solar. I know it's expensive, but I really do think, especially the grid in Texas, if I do stay in Texas, because I'm thinking about going to Japan, getting a house there one day. But I really how EV had the electronic or the batteries and stuff for EVs. Even look at BYD in China. They are amazing. The EVs in China blow away everything here.
Yeah, it's impressive.
The technology, like the build structure, it's no cheap Hyundai stuff.
Yeah,
this stuff is like classy. Oh my gosh, I would love to get BYD. Excuse me, bring it over here. But if we get the grid right, like Tesla is doing great with like the charging network. You can't really beat that right now. That's why everybody's switching over to their network. So it'll be more Tesla chargers and more people who put in the Tesla charging ports in their car is going to make it better. And I think that's what's going to be the future of it. Now, the next thing about the technology in EVs is like making cars more durable. Because if you have an accident in an EV car, it might as well just toll it out, and because the plastic is just cheap. You know?
It is because they're trying to make it light. And the best thing that Tesla's done is making the battery technology open source so that competitors can use it, like Ford and Toyota and all of them. I think that's really smart. And then the infrastructure piece.
The infrastructure, definitely
getting the infrastructure in place like we have now, so that right now you start driving and you have a gas vehicle, you're going to run into a charging spot. Like you can look it up on your Tesla, but to be able to have it as frequent as gas stations would be really nice. And I think that's going to help adoption.
You know what? Here in Texas, I started to see like most gas stations are putting EV chargers.
That's smart.
And other ones, but it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
but I saw it's like, oh, okay, it's happening.
Yeah.
It might happen a little late, but like
Yeah.
in the next 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
next 10 years is going to be open. It's going to be really great.
Yeah.
You know,
Awesome. Okay. Good one. All right, Doug, you're next.
Yeah. If you could be dropped in any fictional universe, it can be books, comics, movies, video games, whatever you want to choose. What role or what universe would you play, and what role would you play in that universe?
and that's all when y'all asking this, and it's probably going to be the same one, but it's like, I'm definitely, I was looking at Dragon Ball Z, definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would be, I like Vegeta, his story arc, because like sometimes I can be real pissy too, and, and I can not really care. And I like that, like, because Goku, I love Goku, but sometimes he just mess around and he just not a good father, which is a joke, but no, he is. But he just plays around too much, and Vegeta get like, listen here, straight to the point. I'm gonna kill you. Like it's over. Like don't mess with me. And some days, you feel like they're like, okay, I understand, but he still care about his wife and his kids. He just act like he don't, but he do. He mess with him like that time when Beard slapped Bomber. That fool went off. He went to Super Saiyan. He like, don't touch my Bomber. He like what? I said, go ahead, Vegeta. Like, but he knew he was overpowered with that for that little bit. You Beard, nobody had touched Beards, boy. He was just he was great. And also too, like I'm learning not to be like hold on grudges because Vegeta holds on a grudge, and he like, oh, I remember you with Frieza what you did, and like Goku, why you let these people go? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, they'll be okay, and they So yeah, probably be Vegeta, man. 'Cause Vegeta's real.
That's
Very cool.
awesome. I like how you correspond it to like your life as well, like what you see in real life and like the story arc and what you can
Yeah.
relate to. I really like that as well. That was awesome.
Because he
Very cool.
redeemed himself, but he wasn't the best person.
All right. Next one, which maybe it's the same. We'll see. Favorite hero or villain? Which superhero do you admire most, and which villain do you find the most compelling? Can be in anything.
Man, first, well, I just gotta think about that one. Like a hero,
Hmm.
The Rock.
Ah, you
Yeah, The
smell.
Rock. That's basically you can both get bad and
I was
good
getting ready
guy.
to say he's doing the final boss thing right now with the
Yeah, yeah.
villain arc, but
Be a good
he can be a
best villain.
heel, he can be a face.
I
So
can say both on both answers would be for The Rock, but like because The
okay.
Rock is so inspiring. Like he inspired me, and I know you saw the video. He got me like championship title. He sent me some stuff, and like The Rock is my dude, man. I want to still meet. I met him once, but I lost my film. I lost my camera.
Oh
Like,
no.
I don't know. That was the only picture I ever took with him. But one day I'm gonna get that picture with him again, especially now.
Yeah.
I mean, The Rock is just the dude. He's a man. Like
Yeah.
everybody, like The Rock is that's just the guy.
His work ethic is insane.
It is. That dude be everywhere. And he just be
Yeah.
rolling. I just want to like spend 24 hours with him and like, man, just teach me. Just teach me.
You know what I love about your answer? You
Mhm.
you used a single person very effectively for both the hero and the villain. That is
Mhm.
awesome. That's so good
Yeah,
because he can do both.
yeah, he can do both. Yeah.
That's awesome. Really
But
good.
with it is like core of it is still a good person. Because if you look at a good guy and a bad guy, they both belief systems of both they believe they're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
To make a good bad guy, you have to have something to believe like, no, this is right, and it is a little bit of truth in it.
Yep. They have to feel as though that what motivates them is the right thing for them, and
Yes.
and there's a reason for it. You are
And like,
right.
why you
Yep.
don't see it my way? I'm telling you the truth, and you don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is, but they go about it doing crazy stuff that's not right.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Joker movie. I'm talking about the first one, not the second one with Joaquin Phoenix. What resonated with people was showing Joker being relatable
Mhm.
and him looking up at the world and being treated so horribly. I mean, you can kind of get you're like, all right, I see
I
where he's
see
kind of
why,
coming from.
he went
Yeah,
off on
see
the
why he's crazy.
yeah.
All right, Doug, you're up.
Yep. We've talked a ton about AI. We've been on for about 2 seasons, and we have seen AI advance so much.
Mm.
So, when you think of AI, do you think we're kind of in this Star Trek helpful world, or in going towards Skynet? Kind of that type of situation.
I think a little bit of both, because art imitates life, and if you just look at when AI started. AI really kind of started before AI was sneakily put into different things. Look at okay, a lot of people don't think about this, but a calculator is AI.
No.
If you
Yeah.
think about it,
We've had AI for years. It's the
yeah, we had
yeah.
AI for years. It's just on this next level. Like,
Yeah.
think about a basic calculator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's freaking AI,
Well, we
right?
used to say in gaming, like, remember people would complain about like the AI in Counter Strike, for example. I mean,
Yeah,
because there is an artificial intelligence to
mhm.
even in game. We've had it for the fundamental difference now that's caught people off guard is the large learning models, where
Oh my gosh. And
that's
also
what
stealing the
stung people.
art, stealing people's stuff. Like, it just
Yes.
the things they can do now is really kind of like I said, that jump from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, or that
Yeah.
like Mario 1 to Mario 2 jump. Always do that. Like it's night and day. Like when you get AI like deep faking stuff.
Yeah.
I saw one. It was so funny. It was like Step Brothers, but they had R. Kelly and P Diddy.
Oh,
And it
Yeah.
was like having Step Brothers, but then they had him going to
and
jail. It was looking like
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
oh, I love
But
it.
AI too can help a lot of stuff.
It
Like
can.
this stuff in PlayStation is doing,
Mhm.
the stuff Apple Intelligence is
Yeah.
doing. That's good AI. I think we need to embrace it, but also to be very aware because how can I say this nicely? People can be easily fooled
Mhm.
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
Misinformation is huge.
Very easy.
People are
And I
gullible. Yeah.
really think if they need to start teaching how to look,
Mhm.
look for AI and because it can fool a lot of people because people want to be validated. That they want their like, I want to be right so bad
Yep.
that
Yeah.
somebody can take advantage of that. And they already have. We look at the world now. People have
Oh,
taken advantage of that for years. And people just don't care as long as their affirmations
Yep.
are like, oh, look, uh,
Yeah.
I'm right, you're wrong.
People
And
love echo chambers. Like
people don't like to be wrong.
Mhm.
People don't like to be wrong. And if they're wrong, then they're offended. I like, when did we get to this?
Yeah.
When did we get to being wrong? Like it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah. And to be
Yeah.
able to have a difference of opinion and your opinion doesn't make me hate you just because
No,
you don't see things I do. I remember a time where we could have a disagreement, like, oh, you like this, I don't like that, or I don't agree, but you stay friends. Now people are like, you
I'm
know,
gonna offend you because of this.
I don't like
I
it
don't,
because you don't like this and you don't agree with me. It's like it's a very binary way of thinking, and life is not that way. So yeah,
you
man,
I'm not gonna be friends with no racist.
of
No,
course,
No.
of
No.
I ain't
course,
getting
there are
with
lines. There are
no,
always lines, but it gets back to what you were talking about earlier about the way you conduct yourself and what you give, what you put out in the world, and how you
yeah.
treat others. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So,
Like I
man,
said, all I want to do is drive and play plastic. That's
I just want to have fun.
I want to have
Yeah.
fun, man. Let me do that.
All
Let
right,
me.
let's see here. Second to last one.
All
What
right.
is your favorite video game console boot up menu screen?
Ooh, let me see. Because Nintendo really don't have any.
Not really.
Nintendo never had a boot up screen. Now that you think about that, GameCube maybe.
Yeah.
That GameCube, it started the GameCube, but
You could start like remember Sega put on the cart. They would do the
it,
little Sega. Sometimes Sonic would be there. Sega CD would change it. If it was Joe Madden, they'd have a football. Like they always did the little Sega thing, but it was on cart. I guess it technically on some of those wasn't a boot up
I like
screen.
I do like the Sega CD boot up screen go. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Yep.
dun, dun. I love that part. I did love that when it had like the Earth, and then
Hmm.
Sega CD will flip over.
Yeah, it was sharp for the time too. Yeah. Yeah.
I do love that, but it either have to be it's either have to be PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Because okay, so PlayStation 1, well, both of them will stress you out. Because like you start when you start playing PlayStation 1, right? And it loads up
It's like a
and then
hum. Yeah.
yeah, but then if it don't get to that PlayStation logo, like, and then it goes to the menu, like the distance messed up, you're like, ah, or even yeah, even worse on a PlayStation 2, like it's like the orchestra and they go, and then it hums,
That's true.
and then you be waiting, and then you waiting,
There you go.
So that stresses me the hell out because like that will tell you if like you need to clean your disc because you be like,
That's
all right,
true.
put the disc in there, and then you be playing and waiting, and then the PlayStation 2 you hear like, oh yeah, here you go, and you're like, wait a minute, that PlayStation 2 the logo didn't pop up, and you look at it,
And you knew someone's up. Yeah.
and you hear it, then you hear the PlayStation go.
My biggest anxiety was whenever I started to get the red ring on my 360. That always bummed me out. I was like, really?
I guess I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
But I do have favorites like Sega CD,
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2.
Okay.
You said 360.
Yeah.
I never
I always liked the Dreamcast. It was good.
I was a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Dreamcast is good. But yeah, those I guess I put those right there.
Okay, that's fair. That's good.
In order, but Sega CD, I really do love that. You sit there and listen to me like, oh, I love that.
It was cool.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you this one. The PlayStation 4, just like the menu page. If you just lay it on there, if you just leave it in the background,
it is cool.
And like, but it's so great. Like, say you have a different wallpaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have the Spider-Man wallpaper, and it has a different song for the wallpaper, and I just sit there and let it play.
Yeah.
I love that. Yep. I like on my PlayStation 5 when you cycle through the games. I love when I hit GTA, it's playing GTAs. But when I go to WWE 2K,
play something.
It plays it to the game. I like that. Sometimes I'll just put it on Skyrim just because I want to hear that in the background. I don't want to turn on YouTube.
Man, hey, it does it so good on PlayStation 4 because like it got so many like good wallpapers,
themes, and wallpapers. It's great.
I remember I bought Spider-Man, and they had that wallpaper with it with the limited edition, the collector's edition, and I just sit there and it's just burnt in my brain, and it just so like good in the audio level. It's just like amazing.
Oh yeah, good,
very good.
All right, Doug, you get the last one, man. Before we wrap this bad boy up.
We're going to finish it out with superpowers. If you could have any superpower, what would your personal superpower be?
Flying.
Yeah, definitely. I would same with you there, I think.
Is that because you like to run everywhere? You could just fly to the Goodwills?
Yeah. Or if like Goku had instant transmission, I'd be like, shoot. I see something. I have to see it first, so I'm like, just go. Like I'd be in Japan, like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know about flying, man. I'm black, so they might shoot me. What is that doing up in the sky? I see flying.
Oh my god!
Man. You know, they already got so many stereotypes in black folks, man. Shoot, like, there's a black dude in the sky. Oh no, they have it.
They can fly now. It reminds me. Do you remember the?
They force and they fly. Hell no.
Do you remember the movie with Will Smith, Hancock?
Hancock, yeah.
That's what it kind of reminds me of when, like, his attitude in that movie. It's just like, it actually wasn't that bad of a movie. It got a lot of hate, but it wasn't that bad.
What you say? Somebody he punched that kid up there.
Yes, that's right.
That was so funny.
That kid went so far.
I loved it. It was so good. Oh my god,
that was funny.
I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. Wow, that's great.
Hey man, see you see a black dude flying. I'm like, hold on. Boy, I'm scared. So many. I already be looking looks and stuff. Like they see a flying black dude. Be a national emergency.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we just spotted this flying black man. We got to take him down. Everybody come up. Hide all the women and your chicken, so they come and get it.
Oh my god, I don't think we could end the show on a better note. Oh my god, This is so good. Oh, Wrightway, Mr. Wrightway, you are an amazing human being. We wanted to get to know you better. We met you at a con. This was our opportunity to do that. This has been so much fun for us, and we want to thank you for being so gracious with your time. Dude, this was a blast, and
it was so good, man. I love it.
I hope you had fun. This has been awesome to get to know you. You are like cut from the same cloth as us, and so you are like exactly. So this is awesome. So we hope to have you on again if you're ever open to it, man. This was a blast. So thank you so much, Doug. Parting blessing, man. What about you?
Yeah, thanks again for coming on. We've got the retro convention in Columbia. We might get to see you there. I know
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Brian, maybe not stocking up for you per se, but he's been stocking up some good stuff.
Oh
He's got
boy.
some
Celebration Neo Geo.
heavy hitters coming in, so maybe we'll see you next year.
Yeah. Hopefully, man, just man, blessings to y'all, man. It's been fun, man. It's always it's great, man. I don't do a lot of these and stuff because like some people just I don't try to be rude to them, but like just
Nope,
everybody
you're
don't take
good.
it seriously, you know.
I
So
understand. Yeah. It helps that we get
So
to know each other first, though, and actually meet each
yes,
other in
yeah,
person and feel out the water. I don't blame you. You just don't know how people are nowadays. And so,
yeah, you
but
know.
yeah, man, I knew the minute we met you and just your
yeah,
content, the way you conduct yourself, Doug and I are like, got to have him on. So,
I didn't even know y'all did a podcast until I saw this. Oh, that's cool, man. I was like, I loved it, man. So yeah, and I saw like, oh, they professional dude. I said, man, I can get behind this.
well, we appreciate it, man. We hope to have you back. We hope to see you again. If you're coming back to Columbia for the RetroCon, man, we need to hang out. We'll sync
Yeah,
up now, us and Ness, and let's get together and go look at some places. There's some stuff we can show you guys. So yeah,
man, I love it though.
that'd be fun. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thank you
yeah.
for hanging in there with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Be kind, everybody, and have a great week. Take care.
See y'all.